Pro 2 has been a dream of mine for a very long time. I'm excited to join the class full-time in 2017.
Hopefully we can get the Pro 4 out and mix it up with the Greaves and whoever else wants to come do some battle.
We're going to be getting more tracked in the water truck, going for championships.
At the end of the day, you want to be the guy that when everybody shows up to the racetrack, I want everybody to say, this weekend I know I have to beat Kyle Hart. And to be able to get that name, you have to go and prove yourself and win races and be the fastest guy. And I'm not going to quit until I'm there.
The overall future for off-road, it looks really good. We finally have a stepping stone of young guys coming up. It's going to be one hell of a season.
Good morning, Red Bud! Welcome to the 2017 TORC, the Off-Road Championship Series presented by AMSOIL. My name is Scott Rain. I'm joined with Brent Smith up here in the booth, and we've got fantastic racing to recap from yesterday as well as bring you racing here this afternoon. And Brent, let's talk about what happened yesterday just a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit is a big word. We've seen a lot of different aspects of racing. The crashes, I mean, carnage was huge here. Different elevation changes with this Red Bud track. It creates great racing. Just like the MX style across the road, we have short course TORC racing right here.
Well, let's go down to the track side, down to the podium with our third member of our broadcast team, Tiffany Stone.
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much, Red Bud. I'm so excited to be here. This is actually my first time here, and it has been a warm welcome. I can't wait to see what the racing's going on. Guys, yesterday, the track was pretty much dictating the speed of the race. Now that we've got a lot of laps on there and a lot of passes, I feel like the trucks, the UTVs, the buggies, everything is going to go a little bit faster, and since we got time until we go to Crandon, you know the boys are going to be running hard today. Don't you guys agree?
And like she said, it's one of those deals where yesterday, it's not like the drivers saved their cars or trucks, but when it comes to the fact that they got 24 hours to fix whatever they broke yesterday for today, well, today is a whole different story. We've got 2 weeks, 3 weeks before they have to prep their trucks again, and there's going to be balls to the walls. There's going to be pedal to the metal all day. It's going to be checkers or wreckers without a doubt. Well, let's go down trackside one more time to our podium. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, can everyone please rise? Gentlemen, move your hats. As today's presentation of our colors being presented by your very own Buchanan, Michigan's American Legion. Okay, Jim. Now please remain standing for our opening invocations this morning, being presented by Pro 2 racer and chaplain for Racers for Christ, Jay Schaefer.
Heavenly Father, please, thank you so much for the Red Bud Nation. It's kind of like when two churches come together for a community picnic, all celebrating one Savior. We, the Off-Road Nation, are blessed to be here with the Red Bud community. Please, Lord, bless the efforts of the TORC staff and safety crews. Bless the efforts of the racers and their crews. And please, Lord, bless the future of this event and this wonderful facility. And everyone who believed in Christ said, Amen.
And now, Red Bud, please remain standing with gentlemen. Remove those hats one more time as we're about to hear the greatest song in the world about the greatest country in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning, our national anthem being sung by Kayla Bogner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red
Once again, welcome everybody to round 10 of the 2017 TORC, the Off-Road Championship Series, presented by AMSOIL. As you can see right now, our track crew, our safety crew are taking their positions, jumping in those safety trucks, and kind of going to different points on this racetrack. We've getting the safety crew all set. We got racers already at the line ready to come out for our first race of the morning. It's the largest class of the day, 1,600 light buggy, 26 entries, and you know what, Brent? Give us a little description of what these cars are all about.
They're a VW car. They have pretty much stock components on both front and back of these light buggies. I mean, you can pretty much go to a salvage yard and go and buy a used part, put it on. These guys have a lot of replacement parts because they can feed off each other. But it's pretty much a stock class. You hit hard off these jumps, you feel it.
Well, they're only about, I want to say, 4 to 6 inches of travel. Very, everything, like you said, is stock VW, whether it's the power plant or the suspension components. So it's very economical. And be honest with you, there's so many cars just all over the country, whether they be the Baja Bug kind of look or what we have here, that it's starting to get kind of hard to find some of these parts in these junkyards like you had mentioned. But this is without a doubt the most economical class here. You could probably in a premier light buggy for about $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 and go racing. And the thing is, all of a sudden, instantaneously, you become a member of the TORC family, and that's what's neat. Is that like right now, everybody back there at that line are no longer friends. Last night, absolutely. This morning during the drivers' meetings, a little bit of grinding going on possibly, but right now, no friends are to be had on that racetrack. But we have 26 entries going on right now. They're coming up for their one little reconnaissance, about 3/4 of a lap. We're going green, I believe, the first time by as they cross the AMSOIL TORC arch in the infield. Brent, how about our lineup?
Starting on the pole in the 1,600 light buggy, the number 113 of Tony Keepers. Starting alongside of Tony, Try Fleshman in the 120, Dylan Marquardt in the 122, Derek Tilkins in the 121, Tyler Wyans in the 195, Jake Nelson starting in the 6th spot in the 141, Todd Lemick in the 109, 177 of Colin Schultz in the 8th spot, Greg Stingle in the 172, starting in the 10th spot, Billy Booth in the 151, in the 11th spot, Connor Schultz in the 129, the 117 of Sean Springstrow in the 12th spot. Hunter Tingley in the 170. Kyle Benedude in the 174. Tom Benevenuti in the 156. James Thompson in the 145. In the 17th spot, Brandon Graff in the 112. In the 137 of Kaya Graff. Alongside of Kaya in the 19th spot, Scott Booth in the 134. Ryan Josh in the 147 in the 20th spot. Chad Moenberg in the 159 in the 21st position. Stephanie Padel in the 144 in the 23rd spot. Pete Delory in the 199. Allison Wanasega from Bark River, Michigan in the 197. Jordan Hawkers in the 110. And rounding out this 26-car field, Logan Islow in the 131.
And one thing to keep an eye on, race fans, you see just before, as you go up the hill, just before the AMSOIL starting arch, you'll see 2 small flags, actually 4 small flags, 2 on each side of that racetrack. That is the starting zone. Our pole sitter controls the start of this race. As soon as he accelerates, whether it's right away inside that zone or very late in the zone, he starts this race. As soon as there's acceleration, you see our flagman, Faye Stetsny, up at the arch. He will throw the green flag for the rest of the field. Green flag is out. We're underway for the first race on Sunday, round 10 of the 2017 TORC, the Off-Road Championship Series presented by AMSOIL. Few changes have been made at this racetrack since yesterday afternoon as Jeff Nordstrom and Flavio and all the guys on that track crew have made certain adjustments here and there as we start with, I guess I don't want to say the starter class, but probably the most economical class in off-road racing. And as the day progresses, we get a little bit quicker, a little bit more expensive, a little bit quicker again, because actually, you know how it is. Speed costs dollars. As Derek Tilkins has the lead at right now, starting on outside of row 1. And that could prove hard for the rest of the field as Derek Tilkins is one of the top 5 cars in this class race after race.
And you can see those cars as they're coming up that step up Loracco's Leap. They're kind of like bouncing back and forth off. It's a hard hit for this light buggy, but this is off-road racing. You have to adapt to the track conditions. You're not only racing the driver, you're racing the track as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this has been kind of concern for a lot of the drivers out there, that one spot on this track, as it's a pretty hard hit. But as we complete lap number 1, Tilken still has a lead with Tracy Fleischman in second, Tyler Wiens. Oh, we got, I believe that's Tyson Marquardt in that third spot, Tyler Wiens back in fourth, and Jaden Lemke in the top 5.
As we were saying earlier in our entry of the TORC series today, we were talking about on how the track got better from yesterday. And I'm a firm believer in that. As the dirt gets worked in this new facility, today you're going to see these cars at the end of the race. They're going to be putting down lap times faster than yesterday because of how the dirt developed. It'll break away a lot of the corners, but at the same time, it'll hold up to make this a nice racing facility.
Well, we must have an incident down on the backside of this racetrack. One of our safety trucks is coming out on the track to take one of the cars. And I'm looking, one of the guys I'm watching right now is always one of our perennial favorites in this class every single time they hit the track, and that is Greg Stingle in that blaze orange 172. He started back in the 9th spot, currently in 6th. But keep your eye on that car because he always quietly, almost in a stealth fashion, works his way to the front. So keep your eye on that car. Last time by, he was in that 6th spot, and it looks like he's just about, hasn't moved up on this last lap at all.
Yeah, Derek Tilkens is opening up about a 10, 12 car length lead.
In fact, I'm looking around right now, and I don't see Stingle at all. He was running in 6th spot in the last time. There he is. Greg Stingle's pulling off the track and already headed to the pits. He's not even going to the hot pits.
Wow.
He's just off. I
What a
believe he
weekend.
was involved in the incident. We saw 2 cars come together, coming down the hill into that sand pit turn, and he was one of them, but I didn't know anything happened beyond that because they ducked out of sight.
It looks like Logan Islow in the 131 parked there.
So that's down that sand pit, and I believe it was, obviously it was Greg Stingle involved as well. So I saw 2 cars come together just as they ducked out of sight, headed in that sand pit turn.
Yeah, you just watch Greg just take right off the track. So something catastrophic must have happened to that car, and what a bad weekend for Greg Stingle. We've always seen that bright orange car running up front.
So Jaden Lemke just goes by, so I'm not sure what's going on there, what happened there, but was able to stay on the lead lap. So we'll have to wait and see if that car stays on the track and comes around to stay on the lead lap and assumes position at the back of the field or pulls off the track. It looks like Lemke's going to stay on the track, so we'll keep an eye on that for right now. Once again, welcome to Redbud, to all the fans that are just walking up the hill right now. As there's not only action on the track right now in our first race here this morning, but there's a lot of stuff going on back in the pit area. And I will never not say it enough when it comes to what's going back in the pits. Between the U.S. Air Force and Yamaha, that's what's kind of cool. I mean, stop back. You can actually take one of these YXEs for a ride. There's like 6 on display. You go up to the Yamaha display, which is inside the pit area, and sign up, put a helmet on, and you can take it for a ride around this facility and actually find out what it's like to drive one of these YXEs. Oh, I just found out Jason Luberg is down at the podium right now for all the kids to come on down. He's got some giveaways, so if we got all the younger fans that want something cool, I have no idea what Luberg has in mind, but I see one dad picked up his kid. Come on, you're coming with me. Head to the podium, everybody. Jason Luberg, who is in the Pro Modified UTV division, will be racing later on this afternoon. Says that he's got some cool stuff to give away some of the kids.
Yeah, make sure you go get his autograph. Go throughout the pits and get everyone's autograph. These guys are so they're fan-friendly. And since I've been a little kid, Scott, I still remember going up to those drivers and be like, can I have your autograph? And it's like you were shy at first, but now it's like it created such a big family in my life. I love it.
Yeah, you and your brother are far from shy. So we're back to green flag racing. With Tilkins running up front one more time. Tracy Fleischman in second. Marquardt in that third spot.
Yeah, we have to remember, though, with these cars not only being stock, you have to carry momentum through these turns, and especially with all the turns we have here at Redbud, they have to enter these corners. As you see, they're entering it really, really tight. But a lot of the times, if the groove's there, fine. But you'll see as the edge of the dirt brushes off the top surface, they're going to start carrying more speed throughout the turns.
Yeah, that's that one jump on the course that these drivers absolutely do not like. But you know what? Like I tell everybody else, they don't groom the Baja 1000. You know,
I know I've talked to so many people that raced back in the day. They're like, you guys run on such nice tracks.
Yeah.
And I'm just, now that I look at it, I'm like, okay, well, it's about time we get a motocross style track.
Tyler Wiens looking strong to the outside. Looks like he might be making the pass on Tracy Fleischman for second. So Tyler Wiens now in that second spot. Fleischman falls back to third. Marquardt fourth. Colin Schulz in that fifth spot. Nice run by that young man. Jake Nelson sixth. Billy Booth. So far he's taking it to his dad. They had kind of like a, when I talked to him, I think it was Friday night, and we get a car turned around. No, that's been a tricky section both days already in this class. Yesterday and already early in this race today. Headed down that hill into that sand pit.
Yeah, they call it a sand pit, and you walk down there and your feet sink about 6 to 8 inches. It's literally sand.
So something happened with Tyler Wiens out of sight as he's well back in the pack right now. He's fallen from second to about 8th or 9th as the 112 has pulled up the track as well. Brandon Groff has pulled the outside of the corner out of the race line. The tough break for Brandon as there was no indication what was wrong with that car. And we will have, this is one thing we haven't covered yet for some of the fans that may have not been here yesterday, the competition yellow at the halfway point. Right around lap 4 or 5, we throw simultaneously a red flag and a yellow flag, which is the competition yellow. Just, I guess much like NASCAR, even though we've been doing it for about 9 years now. That will slow the traffic down, regroup the entire field. Basically, it's kind of like a break, if you want to call it that. Not really, but it's like a break in the race. And we bring the pace truck out, and he paces the field for 1 lap. And then go back, and then we go back to racing in a 1 lap. It's 174. See, is that the, yeah, it's a 174. Who's that? Kyle Patnaud. So Kyle Patnaud is parked down in the sandpit area as well. Colin Schultz up in the second, the 122.
Boy, Derek Tilkins just checking out pretty much on this field. He's 6-7 car lengths. It might not seem to be a lot, but at the same time, this track is very, very tough to work with as these buggies, you see, just stuffing it into the face of that jump.
So it looks like the competition yellow is coming out this time by for our leader. Derek Tilkins, Colin Schultz in second. Marquardt running that third spot. Tracy Fleischman fourth. But man, that last lap, a lot of cars got shook up, and I'm trying to keep it all straight. And there's the comp yellow coming out. And this is what we just talked about a moment ago. This comp yellow kind of breaks up the race into 2 segments, and it gives the guy added kind of really neat strategy to, okay, you set up your car for the first half if you're in the back of the pack and make its way through the field, try to get track position, or do you kind of look at the big picture and set your car up to run in the second half as the track changes? So that's kind of what the comp yellow has added a degree to is strategy.
Yeah, and you pace yourself a lot. Like me and my brother Brock, we used to pace ourselves throughout our racing career. we would always work with each other. We would always tell each other, hey, if you're in the for beginning part of the race, you want to get up to at least the 4th spot so you have a chance at those leaders if you start in the back, and it's always a strategy.
Hey, I also want to remind the race fans that under this yellow, we got Jason Luberg down at the podium once again with Tiffany Stone, our 3rd member of our broadcast team. So if any of the kids haven't had a chance to go down to the podium, let's go down to Tiffany Stone right now.
Thanks, guys. I am here with one of the best UTV drivers, Jason Luberg. Jason, last season was crazy. This season, we've stepped it up. UTV is pretty much dominating TORC right now. We've, got the pro stock, the pro mods, and Bikeman is everywhere. I see that red and yellow and black everywhere. But Jason's got some stuff. So, Jason, how different is the UTV market now?
It's just blowing up. I mean, this is a great series. If you have a UTV and are interested in racing it, this is awesome. You don't tear up your equipment, and you have a lot of fun. So, just a lot of people this year. It's a lot more competitive. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I know you got some prizes. These kids, are you guys ready? I told you guys Jason wouldn't get these out. We got to get a big cheer. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. I'll help in that too. Woo! Nice job. Thank you so much, Jason, for stopping by. Make sure to go check over Bikeman Performance. The UTVs will be out later on around 3:30 p.m. See you later, guys. Thanks, Jason. Back up to you.
Speaking of Bikeman, man, they got a huge display. I don't even call it display. It's their pit area, but they got like 35 cars underneath one awning, and they just smash them in there. Bikeman they're really putting a big footprint into this series. And it looks like the 174 is back underway. We'll see if there's any kind of mechanical issues of Kyle Padnott, if he's got any issues. We're back to green flag racing. And how about that? We're getting a little bit of heat from Derek Tilkins, our leader, but is that Connor Schulz? Looks like, in fact, he's got the Air Force colors, starred and striped. So we'll be able to see if that's Connor for sure as he goes by. And, yep, Connor Schulz in that 2nd spot. Marquardt 3rd, Tracy Fleischman 4th.
Wow, Schultz goes to the bottom. Oh, he stuffs it into the inside using an MX move. Wow, Tilkins still holding on to the lead.
Yeah, there's some dynamite moves going into these corners, trying to outbrake the drivers. Tyler Wien is trying to work his way up as he's on the back of the 129 right now of Connor Schulz.
As you can see, we're coming back to those step-ups. The first one is not that hard to negotiate for them, but right here, they stuff it right into the face of the jump. But once again, it's the track. They either try to make it, hold it to the mat, and try to clear it, or, as with this limited horsepower, that's all they have.
Well, it's kind of interesting. You talk to some of the drivers, and they absolutely hate that jump, but then there's some guys, it isn't that bad. You hit it just right, it's not that bad. They like the track, and I talked to Tyler Weens, and he was one of those drivers. It's not so much stuffing it in as what they're talking about is the rebound from the back, hitting the back suspension pretty hard. And we got another car being pulled off the track to the infield. Cannot quite tell who it is from our vantage point as we go back to the racing action. As there's passing and bumping and banging going on all around the course. But meanwhile, Tilkins is still leading the pack with the 177 of Colin Schultz in tow in that 2nd spot.
Yeah, boy, Colin Schultz just overshot that jump going in the back section, and it costed him a spot.
And once again, tough break. The 174 of Kyle Padnott having mechanical issues and stopping the track for the 2nd time. And it looks like he's going off on the hook. As we are now looking on camera to our race action right now. Everybody's in tow. We just have a few laps remaining. And there's Padnott right now, yeah.
Yeah, something catastrophic happened with the 174.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that one of the Josh Hintz cars from back in the day?
Yeah, it is.
It has that profile look, yeah.
Just the shape and the look of it. It hasn't changed much.
Meanwhile, our leader just having absolutely no issues today.
And once again, we talk about the clean air. When you're out front and you're breathing that clean air, the car also likes running that fresh air. But if you're in the second, third, fourth, all the way back to our 25th spot, you're going through tear-offs. Guys will wear plastic-type substance on their face shields where they can rip one at a time. Sometimes they rip two off in a muddy race, but
Whoa,
you try
car
to
sideways!
Oh.
I believe that was Booth. Got sideways off of one of these downhill jumps, pointed himself on the outside wall, and went into a barrel roll. I want to say 2 or 3 barrel rolls right here at the, I guess you'd say, the entrance to the sandpit turn. But yeah, I mean, that was no fault of the track. He was just hauling the mail down the hill, and I think he just skimmed the outside wall, and you can see it right there. I still can't tell quite who it is. You can see the suspension damage to the right front.
Yeah, also the right rear just sheared right off. You can see the tire on the left side of your screen.
I want to say that was Booth, I think.
Yeah, he just got all crossed up entering the back section, and once you get crossed up, it's pretty hard to negotiate when you're carrying those speeds down that hill.
Well, Billy Booth is still on the track. I'm looking for Scott right now to see.
But once again, we have to say a shout out to our safety crew, our track crew, all the TORC guys. They're there, and like we were talking yesterday, they take their time. They don't want to rush anything, and they want to make sure everybody's okay after a big crash.
Well, it wasn't one of the Booth cars. It wasn't Scott Booth, so I really don't, from our vantage point, absolutely cannot tell. But I kind of liked what I saw from the safety crew down there. They had ducked their head into the car. Let's see. Oh, okay. That's Pat Nudd on the right side of the screen. He had been pulled off earlier.
Yeah, it looks like James Thompson in the 145 also with the helmet up on top of the car. His day is done.
Yeah, right now we're looking at the downhill section going into the sandpit left-hand turn just behind the race control tower. Oh, so there we go. There's one of our safety trucks, and there's the car right there. And that's our shot of our leader right now, Derek Tilkins. Not too many laps left. And the thing is, all these races have a schedule, a timeline. And if we don't finish this race for whatever reason within that timeline, we go back to the last completed lap under yellow, and that will be decided as our winner. So we haven't got to that point yet.
Yeah, last round we went through that situation in the light buggy class. It became way too long of a race, like Scott was saying. We had a lot of carnage, a lot of crashes, and it just takes time to wind these cars all back up.
So once again, we got Derek Tilkins running up front. Jake Nelson at second spot. Marquardt third. Schulz. Actually, we got the Schulz boys running very close to each other. It's going to be interesting to see between Connor and Colin. Billy Booth in that sixth spot. Tyler Wiens is trying to work his way back into traffic. Tracy Fleischman, who's running up front early in the race, back in that eighth spot. And Eric Lafreniere and Lemke in that top 10. So once again, we'll keep an eye on that pace truck. See if Richie Kuloff will pull off the track in just before the start zone, and see if we're going back to green flag racing. It sounds like. Are they still moving? Okay. This is I think what they're doing is kind of resetting the field to make sure everybody's in the right spot. So this is a kind of a real interesting thing. I'm not sure if the Sportsmen have this. I know they've been talking about doing it, but they've got radio communication with their spotters up in, I believe, in the grandstands that faces the motocross track, a high vantage point. But I know, there you see it. It looks like it's going to be done manually. They're going to reshift the field to its proper spots. But in the pro classes, and I think they're going to institute this in Sportsman as well, they've got the radio for their spotters, but they also have what's called the Super Bee. And it's a little, almost like a Bic lighter sized, or a Zippo lighter sized little tiny radio, and it's a receiver only. And so now the USAC officials, race control, It's listen-only radio. They can talk to the drivers.
Yeah, I run that in
And-
my sprint cars, so you can
Yell at
only
ya.
hear them. You can't yell back at them.
They
so.
can yell at you, but you're like screwed because you can't yell back.
Yeah, it's safety
So,
though. It's all about safety.
So once again, it looks like they're being the field's going to be reset into its proper order. As I'm kind of can't help but think that the time frame, the time limit, is coming up pretty tight. There we go. That's the 151. Tough break.
It is Booth.
For Booth. That just happened because I what? Was it Booth that rolled right here?
Yeah, it was right there. We couldn't get a good look at him at the first view.
Yeah, it was Billy. Oh, and he was doing so well running up front, too. But he's out of the car, obviously, and so he's okay. Car, not so much.
You can fix the car.
Yeah.
It's great that he's okay. And he took a tumble. They're carrying a lot of speed. Even though they're a slower buggy class, they're carrying speed coming down that hill.
There's not a lot of horsepower in that car. And it is air-cooled also. And you mentioned about clean air. And there's a situation where the engine obviously is behind the drivers, and these things are air-cooled. So if you can find yourself, and on top of that, they also still have the ability to get caked with mud. The headers start to overheat, or the pipes start to overheat, and then all of a sudden the motor, and it just can be a really ugly thing with these air-cooled engines. But again, a very good starter class to get involved in off-road racing. Economical, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say probably for about $7,000-8,000, you can get a light buggy and be pretty competitive in this class. And it is very equal, by the way, too, to be honest with you.
It is. Anybody on any given day can win in this class. I mean, Tilkens is putting on a show today, and we'll see if the 141, Jake Nelson, can give him a run in this second half of the race. And I always planned it out, and I would like to see Jake Nelson run down Tilkens, but he's been running his fastest lap of 1:12.341, and Jake Nelson had a 1:17.030. So a little bit off the pace, but you'll see the track has the top layer brushed off, and these cars are going to hook up.
So it looks like we're all in proper order right now, as we should be taking the green flag this time by. Now, I always like watching the restarts because I find out kind of what the driver wants to do, what his psyche is. Is he kind of messing with the field and holding them all the way through the end of the zone? Or does he get on it right away? And I can't help but think that I'd be one of those guys that would wait till that second flag before I accelerate, because you got the anticipation of the guys behind you getting on it, and all of a sudden they realize it's a chain reaction of bumper, bumper, bumper. So they have to lift. Well, while they're lifting and hitting bumpers, I'm taking off.
Oh, correct.
That's just me.
Well, we've seen all different varieties of that yesterday. We've seen Andrew Carlson take off. I mean, his front end was right at that second flag, and it's just in your mental state when you came into today's race, and if you thought you were going to be in the lead, you always throw that stuff through your head. What am I going to do at the halfway point?
Well, here we go. Derek Tilkens at the point, and just inside that first flag, he accelerates.
We're getting word it's going to be green, white, checkered. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go for Derek Tilkens.
So I'm looking at Colin Schultz or Connor Schultz. The brothers are out there racing side by side. Who is going to go after that final podium spot? Tyler Williams is in there as well. Cars inside, cars outside. Derek Tilkens goes wide, gets a lousy run out of the corner, and we got a brand new leader.
Jake Nelson in a 141 taking the lead. Tilkens went a little wide in the back section, and it costed him.
Looks like Tilkens has got some sort of front end damage. He's slowing, he's pulling off to the side, and this will shake things up big time as a white flag is coming out this time around.
Man, oh man. Tilkens had a run of a lifetime today, and just something catastrophic going on with that buggy.
So as a white flag will be coming off this time around for Jake Nelson. Marquardt in second. Schultz now in that final podium spot, but Tyler Williams is right there alongside. He's pulled to the inside at the exit of the corner. Now he sets himself up for the outside, though, in that left-hand turn. This sandpit corner is going to get real ugly real quick, I think, at the bottom of the hill.
I know, and it's amazing to watch them go into that back section. They go as hard as they can, and they're so hard on the binders. It is ridiculous how hard these, they always call them the slower buggy class, but they're carrying some speeds. Watch, you'll see the front ends just huck right down to the ground, some of them pushing wide.
Well, not as much contact, or any for that matter, that I could tell, in that left-hand turn. But Collins going after second on Marquardt.
In a lot of these littler classes, it's all about carrying momentum through the turns, especially in this light buggy class. I could say it 100 times. It's you have to set up your car 3-4 turns ahead of time, sometimes even a lap to get around the guy in front of you.
One straightaway, one turn remaining. Jake Nelson. Tyson Marquardt. Here comes Tyler Williams to the outside. And Jake Nelson will take the win.
Williams trying to go to the outside. Oh,
that
Williams.
final podium spot. It looks like Colin Schulz will take that third spot. Tyson Marquardt second. Jake Nelson will take the win. Tyler Williams a very, very close fourth spot. Connor Schulz fifth. Jaden Lemke, Eric Lafreniere, Tom Benevenuti, Tracy Fleischman, and Scott Booth all in the top 10. While our top three finishers make their way to the podium for their winning interviews, we have a special guest with Tiffany Stone down at the podium. Tiffany, who do you have?
Well, I am down here with Steve from Yamaha. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining us. You have seen Yamaha everywhere. They are a brand new sponsor here at TORC. CJ Greaves is the Yamaha guy. You've seen him everywhere out there with the Blue Crew and whatnot. Well, Steve, thank you so much, like I said, for joining here. You have a great experience going on right now. What can we do with the Yamaha, the YXZ, and right over there on that Red Bud motocross track?
First off, the event is phenomenal. The series is phenomenal. What a great partnership. We're excited. We are giving the crews, the families, the fans a chance to ride the YXZ, either the 5-speed sequential shift or you can ride the paddle shift. And it is phenomenal. And you're going and riding on an iconic MX track, Red Bud. Red Bud! So it's awesome. It's a great experience. It's a great family adventure right now. We're proud to be sponsors. We want all the riders to be safe. We want everyone to have a really good family experience. And on behalf of Yamaha, we are pumped. So it's a really cool real-world experience demo.
Well, with Yamaha being such a big sponsor, we do have the Yamaha checkered flag, which CJ Greaves, Rodney Van Eperen, they've been getting that top spot every single time. And you are here right in Michigan, so you are a local. If somebody wants to come talk to you, make sure to come talk to Steve from Yamaha. Steve, thank you so much for joining us. I think I might have to go on a ride with you. I don't know, I'm a little nervous, but you said it's safe, it's for families, and it's free, right?
Absolutely free, and like I said, safety is our main objective, and fun. We want to put a smile on everyone's face, and this in general puts a smile on everyone's face.
Well, make sure to go check out Steve, make sure to go check out Yamaha, and at 3:30 p.m. we're going to go live with the Pro Stock races where CJ Greaves will be. Back up to you guys.
Yeah, I had a chance to, well, our pace vehicle is a YXZ 1000, and it's got the paddle shift, and I've driven that thing a couple of times. That is really, really neat. Something about the paddle shift on the wheel kind of makes you feel like a Formula One driver. I'm like, oh, I'm all about this. But it's got a whole lot more suspension than a Formula One car. There you have it, the Yamaha YXZ 1000. But once again, get your butts up there in the pit area, and you'll see them in the back corner to the left when you enter through the gates. You'll see like 5 or 6 all lined up, ready to go. Sign up, throw the helmet on, and they take you around the facility. And the key is you are driving. They're not taking you for a ride.
Yeah, it's
you
not a ride
are
along.
driving. That's the thing. So you got to get up there and do that. So, Well, we're going to step aside as we get our top 3 finishers to the podium. We'll be right back after this with the winning interviews of Light Buggy.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Turo Trailblade Tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
There we have it. There we have it. The fans are down at the fence. A couple of people there are actually crew members or families of our Light Buggy drivers.
Yeah, it's very cool to see all the different shirts out there.
The Broken Dirty Gang right there. Red Bud! Really? Really? Is that all you got? It's noon. It's 12 p.m. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, but it's 12 p.m. here. Red Bud! That's what we're talking about. We're so glad you guys came out here today and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful weather. And, there's so much racing going on in the area, whether it be NASCAR just up the road. I know it was Thursday. There was a dirt track race in the area. Then last night there's a super late model on Thursday night. Then Friday night there was a sprint car race someplace. And then you got NASCAR this weekend. It's like, and yet we've got fans here that chose to come here to Red Bud instead. That is so cool.
Yeah, who cares about that other racing? This short course off-road racing, we're on the dirt. We're seeing a new facility right in front of us. Yeah, a lot of people are in NASCAR, but we have a heck of a crowd today, and I can't wait till later on.
Hey, you go to MIS for NASCAR, where's the jumps?
Right, yeah.
Where's the jumps?
Left turn.
Hey, well, let's now meet our top 3 drivers from our last race, the Light Buggy division. They're now down at the podium for their winning interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, now finishing that 3rd spot, had a heck of a run. Nice job on the 177 of Colin Scholes.
Congratulations to you, Colin. With the track being brand new like it is, coming off of Crandon and all that, that's completely different. When it's drying out and when it's getting a little dustier and obviously the wind's not kicking up, how are the track conditions right now?
Oh, when the track is drier, my car goes a little faster, but I was struggling coming out of the turns, trying to keep up the momentum. And right at the last caution when we restarted, I ran out of tear-off, so good thing the track dried out, so the mud would have got me.
With this being in Red Bud, do you want to come back here? How do you feel about the track, and who would you like to thank today?
I like this track, and it's fun to race on, but it's a little hard to pass. And I'd like to thank my family for all coming out, my dad for working on the car and helping us fix 2 broken spindles last night. We were up till midnight doing that, and then he had to go help Chad Rayford do his truck till 2 in the morning. So he's definitely one of the big parts of our team. And I thank Connor for getting up here too. He's close up here.
Well, you've done a great job. Hop up on number 3.
And taking that 2nd spot, nice job, Dyson through the pack, nice job. Kind of basically avoiding a lot of situations up there in the front of the field this entire race. But that 2nd spot today goes to the 122 of Tyson Marquardt.
Congratulations to you. That smile says everything. I giggled a little bit when I was walking back there. I heard everybody coming. He's not broke, but he's dirty today, and it seems like you've done a great job. It's got to be a great weekend coming from everything. I did see the broken dirty truck Friday. You had a little mishap. How are you feeling today, bringing it all together and getting on top of that 2nd place box?
Well, I feel amazing. This is awesome. Yeah.
Who would you like to thank today? I know you got a long list of people. You got all the family, the fans, your friends here. You got to thank a bunch of people.
Well, I got to, first of all, thank my dad for being my spotter and the most help I could ever need. Broken Dirty, all of them here. All my sponsors, I can't even remember them, but Point It, Ironworks, then yeah, just God for keeping me safe.
Well, it's a little okay that you're speechless. You got that smile on your face that says everything. Hop up on number 2.
And now that first place position. Very, very, very good job here today. There was nobody as smooth as this guy here. Taking that win, the 141 of Jake Nelson.
Congratulations to you, Jake. It feels so good to see you up here. We saw you in Chicago at the beginning of the race, or beginning of the season. You've brought it full circle. You took that top spot here at a brand new track. How does that make you feel?
It's Red Bud. This is awesome. The track was in good condition. You got to rut it up, but it's Red Bud. That's expected. So, yeah, this is awesome.
Well, since you did say it's Red Bud, and you got so many Red Bud fans out there, and I've been hearing this the entire time, can I get a Red Bud out of you?
Red Bud!
Well, congratulations. I know you got some people you want to thank for bringing you here.
Yeah, I got to thank my uncle, Mark Steinhardt, Glenn Matthews, Fastenal Auto Islander, Monocle's Pizza, 920 Designs, Hazelhurst Pub, all the continued sponsors, Point at Ironworks for putting up the added purse at the year. And then that's it. My wife, can't forget about the wife.
That should always be the first one. Happy wife, happy life. Hop up on number 1. One more round of applause for your top finishers. And back up to you, Scott and Brent.
Thanks a lot, Tiffany. And Jake, nice recoil there. Nice job. But you know what? Congratulations to those top 3 guys right there. That the smile says it all. And the best part of now, they're done racing for the weekend. They can clean up a little bit, pack up, and enjoy the rest of the day racing. And all the fans here at Red Bud. Nice job, guys. Well, one more time, we're going to step aside for a quick break and be right back with our next race, which is going to be the Sportsman UTV division.
Cooper tires on the ground, go round and round, round and round, round and round. Tires on the car are warranty. The one you need. The tires on the car help keep you safe. They grip the road when you hit the brakes.
Your tires matter. So count on Cooper, an American company since 1914.
Tires on the ground, go round and round.
Well, Brent, we got our next class on the track already. Go at it. It's Sportsman UTV. How about a lineup?
Starting on the pole in the Sportsman UTV starting grid, the number 756 of Nathan Slatinsky. Starting on the outside of Nathan, the number 703 of Trevor Bushmaker. In the 725, starting in the 3rd spot, is Gabe Johnson. In the 711, alongside of Gabe, is Vince Lemondola. Starting in the 5th spot, Stenson Robinson in the 745. In the 713, Jacob Rosales in the 713, starting in the 6th position. And they'll be inverted from 6 through 1. In the 7th spot, Chris Foy in the 769, Luke Stubbs in the 722, Corey Podolsky in the 708, Connor Wood in the 715, and rounding out 11-car field is Al Hoffman.
Front row hits that first flag. Oh, man, Tuggle holding him right to the very edge. Green flag is out, but boy, oh boy, Nathan Slatinsky held him right to the point where I believe the front tires were touching that invisible line between the front flags.
Looks like we have 2 cars just parked right next to each other in the 769 of Chris Foy parked there in the 715 also.
I bet you they look like they may have
Connor Wood.
Lock suspensions. It looks like they may have hot tires or something. As Slatinsky has the lead right now, pulled out the early hole shot. Trevor Bushmaker had a great run yesterday. But did I catch something out there in that 722? Look closely. I'm not going to mention anything, but look closely next time they come by us here at race control and see how close. Just look at the number plate and see if you see what I see. New driver in an established car, but it's going to be kind of a cool story to find out what's happening there. So we got all Yamahas out here, minus 2 Polarises.
Yeah, once again, this Sportsman UTV, anyone can go and pick up one of these cars, put a cage in it, a lot of different safety devices, a head and neck restraint, seat belts. You have the whole 9 yards, a fire suit. You can come out here and battle amongst these guys. Still looks like our track crew still trying to get our car off the track.
Man, they really hopped through those stutter bumps in that downhill section. Now watch closely for that 722. Should be the next car. Yeah, there it is. Look closely. What do you see?
That Monster Energy look
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Little 22 on the backside of it. Kind of gives it away.
That's a Greaves car out there.
Yes, it is. Luke Stubbs running for the Greaves boys. Well, we got a car around. The 703, Trevor Bushmaker just looped it around.
Oh, man, he was on the podium yesterday. The only saving grace he has is to get back on that track, stay in the lead lap, and really bust his butt in the second half. The comp yellow is going to save him.
Yeah, try to pick up as many spots as you can in this first half, even though you spun out. Try to get as many spots back, and then put it together the second half and go after it.
Major mistake. Was running in that second spot.
Slatinsky still out in the lead, holding on to about a 2-3 car length lead. Coming back right in front of us, trying to rotate the car. Puts it up on the bike, rides it out. Nice save by the 715 of Connor Wood. As we go on throughout the day, you're going to see these cars go a little bit faster, carrying a lot more speed on the outside of these turns, trying to make any which way to pass a car in front of them. Looks like we have a slower car on the inside. Not pulling off, just trying to limp it around. You wonder if something is going on just gradually. Looks like we had a good battle. The 7-Eleven, Lamondola. Him and Stubbs are going back at it.
I'm starting to think there may be a mechanical issue with one of our favorites in this class, Trevor Bushmaker, because he's just not gaining on the pack like he probably should be. Slatinsky still maintains that lead from the drop of the green flag. But I'm telling you, man, I think Stubbs, that 722, is starting to get the hang of it.
You know he's in a good car. You know the Greaves boys have filed that thing in, and he dialed it. Like yesterday, we seen it out there, and we were kind of going back and forth going, man, that number looks familiar. Is that CJ? Is that Johnny? We kept looking, and I thought it was Johnny yesterday in practice, and then here to find out someone else is driving the car. Again, a lot of track work done over the night and early this morning with some of the jumps. A lot of the cars were digging deep.
Look at this, right at the comp yellow. It looks like Stubbs may have gotten them at the line. As once again, Richie Kuloff for the first time today pulls out on the track in that brand new 2017 Yamaha YXE Pace vehicle with the flashing lights and the flags on it. Kind of a cool safety vehicle, huh?
Yeah, he's spoiled.
Yeah.
Every weekend we talk about it, but he just holds his hand out there, brings the crew around. And
somebody's got to do it. It might as well be me.
I guess.
Hey, while we're under comp yellow, now's a great time to grab something to eat, something to drink back there in the concession area. It is now past noon, so you're more than welcome to grab one of those famous Red Bud beers and come on back. And we had fun with the crowd yesterday, as I saw a couple guys had, they got two hands, but only one had something in it. So I kind of got them a little bit. And yeah, they came back a little while later on camera, showing that they had two. Double fisting it in Redbud. All right.
Richie Kuloff going to be bringing them back to which will be the restart. Again, you'll see those 4 flags in front of you, the TORC and AMSOIL flags. The guy that's in the lead has the choice. He can take off right at that first flag, or he can lay back and play some mind games with the guys behind him and take off at any time.
Yeah, that's actually the YXE I got a chance to drive a couple times, not on race day, obviously, but kind of like earlier in the week just around the facility, and it is a blast.
Did you go fast, or were you just taking your time?
Maybe 3rd gear, 4th gear, but no, I wasn't getting on her.
It's cool, the acceleration, though.
I was just going around the facility here in Redbud, and oh, man, it's so pretty here. It's like it's a beautiful park that has a couple of racetracks in it. And that's what it is. It's
It's
gorgeous.
beautiful everywhere. Just going back to the hotel yesterday, it's just you just take your time. It's like living in Bark River, going and seeing the lake. Right in Michigan, beautiful place.
So we're back to green flag racing, and you know what that man did at the point. He held him right to that second flag. And we've got some action up front. We've got a brand new leader.
Vince Lamondola in the lead, takes over the lead. Pushes really, really wide in the back section, in the sand section. Very deep ruts developing throughout the day.
And here comes Stubbs going after that inside line, going after second. I'll put money out that he's got CJ in his ear right now spotting for him. One of those two guys, whether it be Johnny or CJ, but I bet you it's CJ. And that's not a bad person to have spotting for you.
Yeah, when you have eyes in the skies and put the Greaves name behind it, you're going to move to the front. Lamondola on the bottom trying to protect the inside. Just rips right out of the corner. And here comes Stubbs in the 722. In the Greaves back, Sportsman UTV going to the front.
Dude, we got like a 6-car battle for the lead right now. And we're in the second half of the race. So it's almost like these guys are all kind of playing possum a little bit in the first half because they're on it right now.
And again, the cars can be coming towards the track, working it in as the top layer goes off. Like I said earlier, the track gets better, so the cars will go a little bit faster.
And guess who's in the mix of that thing as well as far as the battle for the top spots? Here comes Bushmaker. The 703, that red and gray Yamaha.
Stubbs is working that inside, trying not to try to foul the leader, but he's running a good pace. Lamondola is in the 711, is about 2-3 car lengths ahead. Don't take nothing away. It's always hard to lead a race. As I say, he over-rotates just a little bit on the inside.
Lamondola hard into the corner, but he's still getting a lot of heat from Stubbs. Just a few laps remaining. And Bushmaker working his way into that top 5. Bone stock units working their way down into that sandpit turn.
You see Stubbs trying to go outside, inside, entering the corner wide and trying to get a tight exit to get any kind of run.
Oh, bites up on 2 wheels. Lamondola was able to save it and hung on to the lead. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but Stubbs wasn't quite close enough to take advantage, but it's still right there in that back bumper. As a second-place driver, when something like that happens in front of you and you're looking at the undercarriage of the car in front, it's got to be for a split second at least makes you pause or kind of like choke up a little bit.
And here comes Stubbs. Stubbs takes the lead in the 722.
I wouldn't call it the lead just yet. They're side by side in the
second.
right-hand corner. Now watch the duck to the inside. There it is. White flag is out. Stubbs crosses the line first, but that doesn't mean anything with 1 lap remaining.
They're side by side going to the inside. Lemondola, Stubbs, both battling to the last lap here at Redbud.
Lamondola has the point, still controls this race, but is far from comfortable right now with Stubbs right there in that second spot.
We'll see if he can keep it on the wheels here.
Oh, they both go tight to the inside. Took that same line into that Talladega left-hand turn. Deep, deep rutted sand through there, and it looks like Lamondola gets through it a little bit easier than Stubbs. He pulled away to about 6-car length lead, and that may be all it takes.
Stubbs tries to go outside, inside, and he does. He gets a little bit of a run. We're going to see as they come down the hill.
It's going to come down to this corner right here. Who dives in the hardest? Lamondola will hang on to the lead, and he'll take the win. Vince Lamondola will take the win.
Jacob Rosala's in the third spot.
And let's see, second will go to Luke Stubbs. That's 722. So once again, we got Richie Kuloff out there in that brand new YXE pace vehicle. He'll bring the top 3 down to the podium for their winning interviews. We're going to step aside real quick for our commercial break. Come right back with those winning interviews.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Mattitives, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Mattitives are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
Well, race fans, once again, we've got the Yamaha guys up there doing those rides. In fact, not a rides, they can do a drive. That'd be you behind the wheel of one of those Yamaha YXEs. Problem is right now, though, we've got a car blocking all the YXEs. They can't get out of their semi. So if you're driving a Michigan-plated BUR 5216, it looks like from Lansing area, and it's a Silverado. It looks like it's red. But if it's a Silverado and your license plates are BUR 5216, you better have it moved real quick because Yamaha's more than willing to have it towed at your expense. So please get that taken care of as quickly as possible so we can get some fans out here driving some brand new YXE 1000s. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to go down to the podium in the third spot in the 7:13, making a pass on the last corner of the last lap, Jacob Rosales. Rosales, excuse me, I'm sorry. Good job, buddy.
Congratulations to you. Just like you said, you took that pass. You got more points. You're still the points leader right now unofficially. Leading into round 11 in Crandon, what's your mindset?
Keep it the same. We got to fix some few things. Broke midway through the race, but just stay points leader and stay on top.
Who would you like to thank today for keeping you in that points lead, keep you in that race right now?
I thought I'd thank SOB Built, Victory Lane, Jersey Mike Sub, Bikeman Performance, DWT, and Lemondola family, Rosales family, and Martin family.
Well, you've done a great job. Can't wait to see what we do in round 11, heading into Crandon. Hop up on number 3.
In the second spot, in the 7:22, Luke Stubbs.
Congratulations. I love seeing these big smiles from the guys. You know, I know that Johnny Greaves is your spotter, but you were just telling me that you heard him halfway and then you didn't hear him anymore. What happened?
I don't know, something at competition yellow, I lost the radios and I couldn't hear anything. I didn't know, at the last half of the race, I was essentially driving blind with no one, I didn't know who was behind me, so. Yeah.
With you being up here today, you've got the Greaves family, CJ, Johnny, everybody here. I know you need to thank a lot of people for putting you on that second place box.
Absolutely. Johnny Greaves especially, CJ Greaves, the whole Greaves family. They've been really great to me. And Monster Energy, Yamaha, Yamalube, Beyond Redline, Michael Gillian, he helped down spotting too. So all those people.
Well, you've done a fine job. I know they are very proud of you. That smile says everything. Hop up on number 2.
And taking the win in the Sportsman UTV class in the 7-11, Vince Lamandola.
Congratulations to you. Right after that comp yellow, you took that lead. You never looked back. How does that make you feel, grabbing a little bit more points, being ahead of these guys as we go into round 11 in Crandon?
You know, I've been trying real hard this whole time, and yesterday my tire popped second lap, and I couldn't get around anybody, and it just wasn't working out.
Well, it seems like you've regrouped, you got everything together, the track is forming up nicely. What can we think about, or what are you going to think about heading into the next few rounds, because we only got 3 more going on?
You know, just like Jacob said, try to keep it the same, predict what's in front of you, and try to compromise on the others. Oh my God, I can't think of the word. On their mistakes.
That's quite all right. No mistakes we're making here. I know you got a few people to thank, and then hop up on number 1.
I'd like to thank the Rosales family, my family, SOB Built, Victory Lane, Jersey Mike's, Manano, Papa Bruno, hey Mom, and yeah, that's about it.
Well, you've done a great job. Hop up on number 1. One more round of applause for your Sportsman UTV top finishers, and back up to you, Scott and Brent.
Thanks, Tiff. Good job, guys. What a heck of a race out there in the Sportsman UTVs. We're going to take a step aside here for a short minute to pay for some commercial break.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Turo Trailblade Tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
I gotta pee so bad. What? That's not next.
If you take a look at the Jumbotron, they're up in the scissor lift. What a beautiful view that is throughout the course. Brand new facility here at Red Bud. If you have time, go take a check out at any different corner of the track. It is amazing, the elevation changes. You can only see so much up in the grandstands, but from down here where we're at, it is just amazing the difference and how the track develops throughout the day. All right, we're going to check in one more time with Tiffany Stone.
Thank you so much, Brent. As you guys know, the UTV market is taking over TORC, and I've got two drivers here that you know their names, CJ Greaves, his father, Johnny Greaves. They both race in the Pro 2 and Pro 4. Well, they have done that. Now they're in the UTV Pro Stock, and we saw CJ Greaves takes the UTV Pro Mod. You guys, what do you think about Yamaha coming in, you taking that Yamaha checkered flag all the time, and you just pretty much dominating with the Blue Crew?
Yeah, you know, the UTVs in general I think is awesome. It's a good stepping stone. You can come in, get right in there. You can start out in a Sportsman, then go to a Pro Stock, and then go to a Pro Mod, and it's great racing. Everyone runs clean, and it's a hard-fought battle all the way through. I mean, a lot of the races we've been have to qualify in the top 20 just to get in. So it's a great race. I mean, I think it really helps the sport, and it's cool to see Yamaha, Can-Am players, all them guys, Arctic Cat, being able to go right off the shelf and buy one. So I think it helps everyone, and it's definitely helping the sport grow.
Well, also, you have your father, Johnny Greaves, over here, and I know that when you are not racing, you're over there building these UTVs for the rest of the guys. Johnny, as a father and as a driver, how does that make you feel that not only one of the best drivers in the UTV sport right now from Yamaha is your son, and you see him work on everybody else's UTVs?
Well, it's just great for the whole sport, and, you know, if you would have asked me a year ago if we were going to have a UTV team, I probably would have laughed at you. And then, you know, they set us up with one for that one race, and then I actually went out and bought one and wanted to know more about these things, and we went out and drove them all winter and had a blast, and they're just so much fun. And like he said, it's the greatest thing to have actually a stepping stone now. I already, you know, we built a bunch of these things, and I got guys in my shop all the time, and they're over there eyeing up Pro 2s and Pro 4s and all that. So that's what we need. We need those guys to, you know, learn. This is a great place to learn. It's affordable. And then as they get more accumulated with everything that's going on, they can move up, and next thing you know, they're, you know, full-on pro driver. And like he said, the best thing is we're getting manufacturer involvement. And Yamaha definitely takes this really serious, and you obviously see Can-Am and Polaris are taking it serious, so it's going to be a big part of TORC.
Well, I know that we got a big race coming up today, guys. We have the pros coming up at 3:30. You're going to see CJ. CJ, are you going to be in another Pro Mod?
Yeah, we'll be in it back today.
Okay, well, you guys stay tuned. Turn to TORCseries.com at 3:30 p.m. We're going to go live right there. You're going to see CJ Greaves take it out on that Pro Stock. Back up to you guys.
Yeah, it's so cool to see, Scott, the Greaves boys. They're not only racing, they've come from the buggy classes and worked their way up, and they always talk about stepping stones. And it's cool. You can get in a Sportsman UTV and work your way into a Pro Stock and then a Pro Mod. So it's great to have those guys helping everybody out and watch that class grow throughout the years.
You know, one of the cool things about that whole deal is everything's a progression. You could be in a pro modified UTV, but your one eye is pointing off in the direction of, ooh, a Pro 2. Ooh, a Pro 4. You always want it a little bit more. You want that little bit more speed, that little bit more suspension.
Especially if you're in the Grieve shop, too. You're looking at all their beautiful pieces.
But what you need is a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that. But what you need is a whole lot more money and a big, thicker wallet. Speaking of wallet, once again, we'll be giving away that and it's we're going to have that Bad Mofo award coming up later on today as well in the pro classes. So there's that custom-made wallet with $250 in cash for the pro drivers. So that's going to be kind of cool, which happens to be a segue from money to that wallet.
Well, just remember, folks, here at Redbud, if you have time, make time in between all these races throughout the day. Remember, there's helicopter rides out back, $40. You cannot go anywhere and take a helicopter ride for $40. So get over there. It starts at 12:30 p.m. and throughout the day, all the way until we're done here today at Redbud, they will be giving rides.
Well, our next race of the day is going to be the 1600 single buggy division. A little bit bigger engine, still air-cooled, but less of a restrictor plate, a little bit more suspension, a little bit quicker. And you know what? These guys are having a blast. That's the whole thing. We got 13 cars out here in the track. Here's our lineup on the front row. We got Guy Sankowski inside of row 1. Outside of him, Ryan Mottinger in the 343. J.D. Corrin in the 369 and Matt Gerald outside of him in the 395. Row 3 inside, Jason Flugrant in the 356 and Brian Holcher in the 300. In row 4 inside, Dylan Parsons, the 319, Jeff Pashinsky in the 324. Inside of row 5, Dave Luger in the 328, and Bruce Fraley out of Las Vegas in the 312. Tony Keepers, our current points leader, in the 352. He'll start in the 11th spot. Jeff Villamore in the 378 alongside of him, and Brian Hainland in the 302. And they held him about halfway through the field as Moniger will head into turn 1 on the inside. They're 2-3 wide, about 3 rows back. Man, there's cars all over this racetrack. And Moniger pulls out the early hole shot.
And you can see in this 1600 buggy, they're carrying a lot more speed than the light buggy. And again, those cars, they're a lot different than the light buggy class. Actually, they're all a built cage, totally around. They have a lot more suspension. They have about 12 inches of suspension in the rear, 8 to 10 inches in the front, and they can handle these jumps just a little bit better as the day goes on.
And we've got something going on down that sand section behind us because we got safety trucks headed down behind the podium, or behind the race control here. And it looks like whatever took place, it's the 352 of our points leader, Tony Keepers, was involved in it, but he's back underway with a long way to go. And the only saving grace he has is the fact that he's got that comp yellow. And guess who's running up in that second spot already? How about that out of Las Vegas? How do you go from 10th to 2nd in less than a lap? But Bruce Fraley out of Las Vegas is doing it.
Yeah, Bruce Fraley all year long, he has got a great path in this sport. He has raced not only in these classes, out west he has a race program going as well, and he takes the time to come race with us.
You can see these guys are really, really hanging it out, maybe even amped up a little bit since yesterday, because they're coming down into this sand section, down this hill, absolutely on the edge.
Fraley trying to go outside, inside on Karan. Bruce Fraley, if there's one guy behind you, you do not want Bruce Fraley this early in the race to try to take over the lead. He's proven he's a multi-time winner and he can check out at any
they're
time.
Side by side up the hill. Fraley has the advantageous inside line, but look at this. Look who's coming along with them. It looks like it's a Tony. No, it's not Tony Keepers. It's a green car. Can't quite tell. Oh, wow. 328, that's who it is. Almost up on 2 wheels. Dave Luger, he started back in the 9th spot. So Luger was going for that second spot right behind Fraley. got turned sideways off the track, now back on underway. But that was definitely one of those pucker moments. Man.
J.D. Coran not going away, trying to hunt down Bruce Fraley once again. Trying to run his pace. If you're in second, you know you got passed. You want to sit back, try to figure out the car, figure out where you're faster or where he might be faster. Obviously, when Fraley takes the lead, he's a faster car. But you have to learn from who's out in front of you.
Obviously, Fraley, like you said, is one of the best in this class. He's won multiple races in almost every series he's been in. But right now, I'm keying on Dave Luger. He was so fast a few laps ago, made a mistake, and now he's trying to work his way back to the field as we've got something going on behind us once again, as we got a safety vehicle headed in that direction in the sand pit.
You can see this. Oh, we got one over. The 324.
Is that Paczynski?
Yeah, Jeff Paczynski. And it looks like we're going to have a full course caution. Full course caution coming out for Bruce Fraley. And this will reset it. This will reset it once again. We're not even at the mandatory caution competition. And we're going to have another restart coming up here shortly. Once again, we got to thank the track crew, all of our TORC officials, trying to get that buggy back on the wheels. And it's cool about short course off-road racing. They can flip these cars back over. As long as they turn the motor over and they have oil pressure, they fire them back up. And a lot of the time they run away. And some guys, I've seen guys roll over and still come back and put it on the podium.
I'm looking at that car. I don't see any suspension problems. I don't even see any body parts that show any kind of damage.
No, these are really, really safe machines. As you see, he's pulling away.
The wild thing about this, I believe he's still in the lead lap if he can get back underway. He hasn't been passed yet. He's about to, but as of right now, if he get back underway, he'll be in the lead lap. And it sounds like he's moving. But, wow. He's still in. In fact, we got a bunch of all those orange shirts. They're not deer hunters. Those are Paczynski fans. Family and friends up there. How about that?
They're up there all waving.
And one little one really excited.
Sounds like he's healthy, back underway.
Yeah, and he's always one of our top 5 cars or one of the front runners, so it's kind of surprising. We'll find out exactly what he's got up his sleeve in the second half. Hey, that chopper's up in the air right now. There's your $40 for a ride around.
I've never been in one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long it lasts, but it doesn't matter, man. It's just going. That's cool as hell.
Looks like Luger's still trying to limp around, trying to catch the back of this field.
Well, as we're going to bring him around in a moment for the green flag. Are you guys having fun? Red Bud! That's one of the coolest traditions I think we have at every racetrack. They don't do that at Park River. They don't do it at Crandon.
I always remembered ever since a little kid, you yelling, Red Bud!
Get on it, Jeff! He's got to catch up to the back of the pack.
Well, let's reset it for you. Bruce Fraley in the lead. J.D. Coran. Dylan Parsons in the 3rd spot. Craig Pato in the 4th spot will set your top 4 on the restart here. Once again, this isn't the competition caution.
And look who's in that 5th spot. Dave Luger, the guy I was talking about. Richie Kuloff was pulled off the inside of the track. We're going to watch and see what the strategy is for Bruce Fraley at the restart. He's at the first flag. He accelerates right away. Right away. And I think that caught everybody off guard.
He did. They were thinking he was going to wait a little bit, but he didn't. He just took off.
Man, because everyone's getting used to seeing everybody else wait till the last minute. And I think he caught a lot of guys off guard with that early start.
Well, a lot of these guys are watching the race right up in the grandstands. and they see what guys are doing, and they want to pick the opposite kind.
So I'm watching Parsons right now into that sand pit. He goes to the inside. They touch tires, but no harm, no foul. And that only helps Bruce Fraley.
Fraley coming in tight, pushing it out to the outside. Karen not losing an inch on Bruce Fraley, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada.
And Luger gets around Pato. So Luger now in that 4th spot. Keep in mind, he was running second earlier in the race and looped it all the way around. So right now, and now the competition yellow comes out. As we got 2 cars locked together at the top of the hill. And they're back into what looks like one is Matt Gerald. So Matt Gerald got together in the 395, got together with the 3, I want to say Jason Flugrat. So those 2 cars got together and ended up dead last in the field. So now we're going to find out, basically the gloves come off. If they were on before, they're coming off right now.
And you're talking to your spotters. You have the eyes in the skies up in the grandstands. You know Fraley's spotters telling them, hey, where you're faster than all those guys, where they're gaining or where they aren't gaining. And if you're in the 2nd or 3rd spot, you're trying to put everything together from the first half. How did my car handle on the inside? How did it handle on the outside? You're trying to make that car work the best here at Red Bud.
Tony Keepers is now one of the guys to keep your eye on as well. He's out there in that bright blue and I guess say fluorescent green car in the 352. He's our current points leader.
Yeah, he's been having one heck of a season. Couple W's.
Yeah, he was working his way through the pack. Another driver that made a mistake. Actually, at one point, he was dead last in the field. At the start of the race, he was dead last and now finds himself in that 6th position. So between Luger, Keepers, and Fraley, I think we're going to have a hell of a last half.
It is. Keeper's been strong. That's an old Mark Steinhardt car, not anywhere near old. That thing still works, and he's putting it to work every weekend, and it's good to see him back working towards the front.
And how about Parsons, though, that young kid running that 2nd spot? He really hasn't been around all that long, to be honest with you, as far as in the racing scene. I mean, his dad raced for years in the Class 3 Classics, that short wheelbase Ford Bronco. Back in the Soda days. Yeah, that was way before he had gray hair.
Fraley trying to give Richard Kuloff a little bump here. He backed off a little bit, and again, we're going to go in between those 2 white flags. Earlier, Bruce Fraley took off right away. We'll see. Where does he take off in between the 2 TORC and AMSOIL flags? And he goes right away.
Yeah, it wasn't so much of a prize this time. Yeah, Fraley is basically probably doing something he doesn't want to do. And I don't mean by leading. He wants to lead, but what he's doing, though, is teaching Parsons. Follow me. Unintentionally, but that's what's happening.
I'll show you the quick way around.
Parsons is schooling right now. He is learning a lot by following Bruce Fraley.
Fraley locking up the rear brake, sliding it in the turn.
How about Luger right now in 3rd place? He's going after 2nd. Luger's coming out of nowhere.
You can see as these cars get faster throughout the day, they're starting to land right up on top of that step up of Larocco's Leap.
Our version of Larocco's Leap. That one's sitting right over there.
Yeah, I don't think we'd want to hit that one. We'd have more than back problems. Parsons in the corners, buttons up to Fraley, going through the braking bumps in his front bumper to rear bumper. Fraley and Dylan Parsons in the front 2 spots. Watch Parsons drive it hard into this turn, trying to outbrake Fraley.
Fraley slides wide, coming out of the corner, trying to keep up the momentum. If you turn too tight, you'll scrub it off.
And we'll see what he does here. He hits the rear brake, gets the car to rotate. Fraley gets through the turn clean, as does Dylan Parsons. Oh, they hit wheels. Remember, these cars are open wheel cars. They just slammed each other. Wheel to wheel contact. Rubbin is racing. Fraley checking up a little bit sooner than he normally is into those braking bumps.
Watch and face Destiny, our flagman. Still no white flag.
Luger's still running a half a line off. Parsons as well is doing that. You don't want to follow. Every time you follow a leader, you're not going to pass him. But if it's Bruce Fraley, you want to run the fast line, and you know he's picking out the best spots on the track.
And this track is really getting beat up.
It's
really
brutal.
Getting rutted, yeah. These cars are using every bit of that suspension that they got in these things.
We'll see if Parsons can drive it. Oh, Parsons!
Wow!
He sent it off the hill.
Somehow was able to save it.
Wow, he's pushing Fraley out.
Got checked up fast enough going in the corner and comes out with the lead. Dylan Parsons running up front.
He took that jump in as an advantage. He almost went head over T-Cattle.
I think that shook up Fraley a little bit even, not suspecting that.
I don't think I've seen a 1600 buggy get that much air off a drop-off.
But that probably was what we're going to see in the Pro Light Pro 2 category. And here comes Fraley now to the inside as he's collecting himself. And Fraley, is he kind of turning into Parsons a little bit with his right front to his left rear. And let's see if Parsons learned anything in the last couple laps on the lines that Fraley was running.
Parsons running a 1:19.565. Bruce Fraley last time a 1:24.62. So Parsons, we'll see how far he sends it this time over the drop-off.
They're both going for it. Wow!
And we talked about that hop back. You seen that when Fraley hit, he went right in that hole. And you said a lot of the guys, that's where they were getting sore spots in their back. Man, Parsons starting to drive away from Bruce Fraley. There is very little times you hear that. Fraley trying to get the grip on the bottom side. Looks like Tony Keepers has moved up in the 352 in the 4th spot. Keepers starting 11th today. Our points leader.
White flag is out. Can the young man, Dylan Parsons, hang on one more time around Bruce Fraley? You know he's grabbing gears.
Yeah, if he has anything in his sleeve right now, you're going to watch Bruce Fraley drive the wheels off of that thing.
This jump right here could be the deciding factor of how hard they hit. Our points leader, how about that? Tony Keepers in that 3rd spot. Oh, Parsons goes wide.
Oh, man, Parsons does go wide and lets Fraley on the inside. Parsons going to have the inside. He's door to door with Fraley.
There's a stalled car on the track, and Fraley skillfully used that car as kind of a pick. Not quite enough. Still gave him enough room for Parsons to race, but
and here comes Dylan. Dylan Parsons going to the outside, trying to set the outside-inside move. And he doesn't. He goes a long way around and scrubs off a little bit of speed.
You knew that Bruce Fraley, he knew what Parsons was going to be doing, so he ran that corner perfectly. And now pulls up one straightaway, just a couple hundred feet, checkered flag, and Fraley out of Las Vegas will take the win. Dylan Parsons, what a heroic run by him as he took on one of the best in the business, only to finish second, but throw it out to Tony Keepers. Our points leader saved the points chase. Literally, he lost a few to Fraley, who's currently second in points, but the fact that at one point he was dead last in the field in this race, to battle all the way back to finish on the podium. So great job by Tony Keepers just to get on the podium and to save a couple of points. Well, we're going to step aside and get these boys up to the podium. We're going to talk to our sponsors a tad and be right back after this.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Additives, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Additives are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
Well, race fans, when it comes to keeping the car you love safe, there's a motor oil that offers the world-class performance you demand. AMSOIL shields your automobile with 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of vital components like pistons and cams. That's AMSOIL. And Michigan Cat, one team, one goal. Michigan Cat and McAllister Rentals are the team that is right for you. With over 20,000 rentable machines, 24/7 online parts ordering at 20 locations statewide, they are proud to serve the state of Michigan as your Cat dealer. Call them today at 1-888-MICH-CAT or visit them online at michigancat.com. Well, race fans, let's now meet our top three finishers in the single buggy division. They're down at the podium and finishing at third spot, the 3:52. One hell of a run this afternoon, Tony Keepers.
Congratulations to you, Tony. I know you got to be feeling ecstatic, especially after yesterday's race and everything like that. You know, coming back, taking notes, it's a brand new track. What did you do to regroup, come here, and then get on that third place box? And you pretty much drove like you wanted that.
Yeah, I did want it. You know, we kind of got screwed a little bit on yesterday. Should have had a second place, but that's racing. It happens. So we just, guy gets upset a little bit, come back and work hard, and then I screwed myself up. I got a little crossed up in the chicane and got just about pushing that wall, so I had to come all the way from the back. And, you know, I was raced light buggy for my partner, Eric, and because he hurt his back yesterday, and they made me start in the back because I was backup driver, and drove up to 7th, so I was feeling pretty good, and I guess driving up to 3rd in this is pretty all right. I'll take it. And I just got to thank everybody that helps me out, Rick and Susie and Joe, Lacey, you're the best, dude. I love you to death. Jackson, I'd like to thank you for helping, but I'm just shouting out to you, that's all. And my sponsors, Argon Lumber, J&J Insulators, Sam's Concrete, K2 Pro Signs, Elite Automotive. I'm missing a couple. Oh, Lou's Custom Stump Grinding. And Mark Steinhardt, for sure. I got to thank him. He keeps this car running tip-top. So thanks, everybody.
Well, you've done a fine job here. We have a few weeks off. Hop up on number 3.
Taking that second spot. What an unbelievable run by this young man right here. I thought he may have had it. I mean, he spent skillfully that first half watching Fraley, but he comes back in second. The 319, Dylan Parsons.
Big high five to you. Congratulations. As soon as you came out of your buggy, we did that. You told me this is your highest podium ever. How are you feeling in one word?
Excited. That's like the first time I've ever led a race, and that was so exciting, except getting the whole shot at Crandon. I led like a half a lap, and Tony passed me right away, but that was so fun racing with Bruce there. I'd like to thank my dad. He was up all day yesterday fixing stuff. We broke a spring yesterday, and brakes, obviously. I'd like to thank Johnny, Eric, Kenner, the Geralds. I borrowed brake rotors from Matt Gerald last night. Everyone that helps me out.
Well, you've done a fine job. Hop up on number 2. Congratulations.
And this next driver, I thought it was a job just to travel back and forth from Las Vegas to the Midwest for the races. But today, I think I've seen him work harder behind the wheel than I've ever seen him his entire career. And taking that win, and I got to say, he's got to be sweating like crazy down there. The 312 of Bruce Fraley.
Congratulations to you, Bruce. It's always good to see you up here, especially since you are a West Coast guy. You always drive out here. You race with us in TORC. It seems like you're cool, methodical. You've got everything planned out, but I know that's not how the track is going. When you're taking it, what do you think when you're having this guy over here wanting to pass you on your tail each and every time?
Well, the first part of the race, I just want to get through traffic cleanly, and I know how much the mud builds up on your car, and it makes the car heavier, which you don't have no power. So I wanted to get up front as quick as possible. Then halfway, I took it easy, and he got by me because I was lollygagging, probably showing him all the good lines and everything. And then I'm pushing in. He made a mistake down here and overdrove the corner. And I just went inside, and boom, there it is.
And boom goes the dynamite. That's pretty much what happened. I know you got a lot of people to thank for bringing you out here.
Sean Morris, he does everything for me in the pits. He spots for me. He feeds me. He keeps a good eye on me all day, make sure I don't get out of line. And all my family that came up from Chicago watching me, that really means a lot. Wife back home, Larry and Glory Hammond, unbelievable for what they do for me, give me a house to stay in, pick me up from the airport, feed me, do everything I can imagine they do for me.
Well, you've done it here. Take that top spot right over there. One more round of applause for these 3 top finishers. And back up to you, Scott and Brent.
Well, thanks a lot, Tiffany. And, Bruce, I got something for you again. Your wife sent me a message of a picture that she received from her sister. On the way to the track this morning, they stopped at McDonald's, went to the drive-thru, and the number that they had to wait for to get their food was 312. Congratulations, guys. Nice job. Go have some fun. We're going to step aside, everybody, one more time. We'll be right back after this with our next race.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Mattitives, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Mattitives are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to get on with Super Stock Truck here coming up shortly, but first of all, we're going to go down trackside with Tiffany Stone.
All right, Redbud fans, here is your chance to win something amazing. We gave it away in Crandon. We're giving it away now. It is going to be your very own custom-made Arturo Tires watch. Now check this out right here. This is going to be a watch that I actually have. I wear it all the time. What's really nice about this watch is it does have the custom tread on the wrist part that has the same tread mark as Andrew Carlson. Now, Andrew Carlson, he won Pro 2 and Pro Light yesterday. Now, these treads that you see right here are the same ones on there. Now, if you want to get this, make sure you go meet my friend Joe over at Arturo Tires. He's going to sign you guys up. All you got to do is sign up there. You can get this watch. Joe's going to be there with me, and what we're going to do is after the Pro 2 race, we're going to pull an email out of here. We're going to give you this watch, and we could be watch twins. And, like I said, this is a custom-made watch with the same tread marks that you can see on Andrew Carlson's Pro 2 and Pro Light. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Tiff. What a beautiful watch that is. Remember, go down, sign up, shoot an email, and you could win and go home with that Arturo Tires watch. Well, stick around, everyone. Super Stock Truck coming your way here shortly.
Well, race fans, we haven't talked about it for a little while, so now is a perfect time as we got a little lull in the action with a lot of track prep going on. You've noticed that helicopter going by, doing some circles around this racetrack. Well, guess what? You get a $40, and it'll get you a ride around this racetrack and probably a view you've never had before of Redbud. So make sure, if you're interested, head on down to the bottom of the hill to that, just I think it's adjacent to the campground where the campers are. You'll find it down there. Well, hell, you can see where it's landing. Also, we got a lot of other things going on back in the pit area. I've got to reiterate the fact for some of the early arrivals here this morning, they heard this probably 8-9 times so far for some of the fans that just arrived. The pit area is open to all the fans. You're more than welcome. In fact, we really want you to come back into the pits to meet the drivers, the crew members, some of the sponsors that we have on display as well. Get some pictures and autographs and talk to these guys before they come on the track, and so you have somebody to cheer for, which really makes it so much more enjoyable. So go ahead, please go ahead and do that. But while you're back there, also meet the guys from Yamaha. They'll be on the left side of the pit area when you enter into the gates. They've got 6, maybe 8 Yamaha YXZs on display. And they're not just display vehicles. They're arrive and drive vehicles. And they're not ride vehicles. I said drive. You go there, you sign up. You give you a helmet. You're the one that gets behind the wheel and is able to drive it around this facility. They'll take you out there and have a little parade of YXZs going around. So you get to experience what it's like to drive one of these really, really cool YXZs. And if you get the chance, ask for the paddle shift. That's the one I like. That's what's really cool. And while you're there, don't forget, we've got probably the only huge, for real, without a doubt, 100% actual F-16 on display, Thunderbirds, right there by the U.S. Air Force.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's cool to see it up close and personal.
Oh, man, it gives me, when they first pulled in, it was a semi. And they're saying, oh, yeah, it's inside there. What?
How did you get it in there?
Well, in less than 3-4 hours, they had it in one piece sitting right where it's at right now. And you can't miss it when you walk into the pit area. There's this brand new, now I'm talking like Tiffany. But, I mean, there's this F-16 Thunderbird sitting there. And there's so many other cool things that the U.S. Air Force is interacting with up there. You go into that semi, and you got the simulators and things like that. Really cool setup. So you got to please go up there, if for no other reason, to thank them for their service and thank them for providing the freedom that we so far desire. So, but you know what? And then there's also we got Tom here from the World Motorsports Breast Cancer Foundation raising funds for the fight against breast cancer. Stop up and see him. He's got some really cool and I guess some funny sayings that are on T-shirts and various things, hats and stuff. But there's all kinds of going on. But then also inside the gate, right behind you, up there on top of the hill, we got Tim and Timmery here from Racing Dirty with that big black and white trailer selling event-specific T-shirts made just for this weekend, the Rumble at Redbud. And Tim, I've always said, has been like the mad scientist of the artistry of the T-shirt world, and he comes up with some great sayings, some great designs. And also, I got to, on a personal note, let everybody know that they've got also the Chris Kahn Memorial Benefit decals that for $5 a piece, and they're raising funds for that. So 100% of the proceeds go to the 2018 Chris Kahn Memorial Benefit and Auction down in Fort Worth, Texas. So please go up there, pick up a T-shirt, ask about those decals of Chris Kahn Memorial Benefit, and go home with your hands full of something cool. We've also got Todd here and his boys from Vision Wheel. And if you're in the market for a really, really, really cool wheel for your car, truck, or SUV, he's got a bunch of them on display. Amsoil's here with a bunch of product as well with Scott Douglas's backup Pro 4 on display. If you want to see a Pro 4 up close, it ain't going to get any closer than that right there.
Yeah, you can check out the travel on these trucks. Yeah. It's amazing to look. I mean, these are $250,000 trucks, so get over there and check it out.
Well, there's more to racing than just the race teams and the prep of the truck and the track and all that kind of thing. It's talking about the action on the track at the time while it's going on. We've kind of brought up spotters a few times in the last race or two. Well, you know what? How about let's go behind the scenes a little bit and talk about these sponsors. And Brent, you've been a racer. You spotted for your brother, and your brother spotted for you. What's it like to have one of those guys behind you?
It is. We always call it eyes in the sky. Me and you both comment about that week in and week out. And it's the guy that is keeping you not only safe, but he's telling you where you're faster, where you're slower than the other competitors. And it is, especially being a twin, it was an advantage to us because before we would even say anything, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to tell him to go right, then left there. And he'd already do it. So I'm like, all right, just keep going, do your thing. But getting back to the spotters, it's huge. And it's not only safety, like I said, but it can help you be an advantage in that mandatory competition caution.
Well, let's take a step back and actually see what goes on between a driver and a spotter and what they do during a race.
My dad, Jeff Kincaid, who's been racing for over 25 years, he's my spotter. I enjoy having him on my side and not someone else's.
Get ready. Go, 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 go.
Really, when we're just spotting, I want to hear where people are positioned to me on the track.
Hey, watch Braxel on the outside. All right, go by him. You're clear.
Usually at the halfway caution, he gives me a rundown of, okay, this is where you can improve, this is where you're hurting, this is where you're losing time, and hopefully take you to the next step to get on the box if you weren't there, at the beginning of the race.
Hey, down a little lower going around this corner here. See if you can come down a little bit unless the holes are too big. Try to get a little more bite to the wheels, maybe try to short shift her a little here for the first part of this race.
Just knowing what I have for gap distance behind me to the next driver, and also too, if I hit a good line and things are working out and I'm gaining, reassuring me that was a good line, let's keep doing that.
We got 2 truck runs now, nice and easy. Keep looking ahead, nice smooth hands.
He can't see the track surface, I have to make that adjustment, but he can make bird's eye suggestions.
Put it on the bottom, you cleared him.
It's more of a safety too, he's there always letting know when there's a crash or when there's something happening in front of you.
On a rollover, take it easy. Car shallow.
You don't drive with the spotter, he's just there to give you tips and pointers and keeps you settled in the seat as well.
Just a hair wider. Good corner, just like that.
That's reassuring, okay, we're doing the right things, we're hitting the marks, we're doing good.
He just continually improved throughout the race and throughout the weekend, and he's been a huge step to that, guided.
Check the plate coming up. Good job, son. Good job. First time running her.
Well, we just saw what it takes and what it's like behind the scenes of a driver and a spotter and what they're all looking for as we go right now into our next race, which is a super stock. We got 11 entries coming out here, and you know what? This is your class. This is what you used to race, so you know what? Go ahead and take care of the lineup.
Starting in the super stock truck on the pole. Yesterday had a good run going, had something happen to him throughout the day. In the 844, Ben Holger. Alongside of Ben in the 807, Michael Funk. In the 3rd spot, in the 812, Kenny Platten. And starting in the 4th spot, Tyler Playman in the 814. Tom Graff starting in the 837 in that Tom and Tom race team. And starting in the 6th spot, the number 873 of Kyle Cooper. And alongside of Kyle Cooper in the 833 is Nick Bing. In the 851, Joey Moschosik alongside of him. In the 880, Nick Visser. In the 813, Scott Allison. And to round out the 11 truck field in the 806, Dan Wilcox. And we will be coming to green flag this time by. Watch as Holger and Funk try to set the pace in our first truck class of the day.
Funk looked very, very strong yesterday, was leading almost the entire race, and 2 laps remaining, dropped out with mechanical issues, and right now already has jumped out to an early lead as they come in down to the sand pit turn for the first time. Man, Funk looks so strong. He was so fast yesterday. His truck was handling so well. And there was no evidence of any kind of why he dropped out of the race. No smoke, no steam, nothing. And he just dropped right out.
Michael Funk already opening up a 7-8 car length lead over Ben Holger. Man, Funk this weekend, Scott, has just been on rails. That truck has been dialed in. He had some problems late in the race, but today in that TNT rescue truck is starting to pull away from Ben Holger.
Yeah, he's driving like we've seen from Visser and from Machosic the whole early part of this season. Maybe it's the fact that he's finally got that truck figured out and it's starting to come to him. As right now, some of the early, the guys that are usually very, very quick in this class are well back in the pack right now. You got Joey Machosic, Nick Bing, Kyle Cooper's been quick this year, but they're all fairly back in the pack.
Ben Holger driving it in hard, pushes just a little bit wide. Coming into that back turn, you want to try to rotate the truck early to get it to turn.
Oh! Just saw something on the Nick Visser truck, the right rear on Nick Visser. The whole shock mount, he's got, I believe, 3 shocks on the right rear corner of his truck, and the whole entire shock mount is broken. You can see the bars, the bracket bouncing up and down just above the fender.
Yes, he's bouncing
so he's
bad.
got basically no right rear suspension on that truck. That is huge. Another one of our early favorites, always quick in his class. We can see how it's bouncing around that right rear. Looks like nothing more than the welds broke, but you can see it plain as day right there.
Wow, it just sheared that whole mount right off. He's still driving hard. Good look at Ben Holger, still running in that second spot. Last year's championship truck driven by Mitch Dorr. Like Scott was saying earlier, I ran in this super stock truck class back in 2011, and I had an opportunity to run that truck, that number 844 I won right here at Redbud. Wow, you can see, Scott, that thing, the whole pipe is sheared off. The welds, like you said, are gone. And he's still driving. It's got to be one hard hit.
Nick Bing and Joey Machosic battling for that, back and forth and 5th. And they come together. Nick Bing goes inside of Joey Machosic.
They kind of helped each other.
So it looks like they're coming into the corner nearly side by side in that right-hand turn. And those are 2 of the quick guys that run in this class, usually running up front, and they're battling side by side right now.
And once again, we'll talk about there's going to be a mandatory competition caution coming out probably around lap 4 or lap 5 of this race, and they'll reset. These guys are starting to get spread out, but they'll bunch them all back up once again.
And Machosic has stretched out his legs a little bit away, gotten away from Nick Bing.
Wow,
Machosic
Bing
is actually,
sent it.
And that's it. That's a points chase going on right there. As Machosic's our points leader, and Nick Bing in that black and orange Ford is currently second in points. So right there, the 851 and the 833 are first and second in points. And ironically enough, they're battling back and forth and 5th.
Looks like Kenny Platten starting to run up towards Ben Holger. Holger pushing through the turn as does Platten over rotates. Ben Holger, a rookie in this class in that number 844.
And there's the competition yellow coming out as Mike Funk crosses the Amsoil finish line.
You wonder if anyone has anything for Michael Funk. That TNT truck has just been unstoppable in this first half.
He was so fast yesterday, and he started. He led the whole race. Started the first half leading it. Competition yellow. They got the restart. He led the restart, and then with 2 laps remaining, I think he had something break, and he just pulled off the track. And tough break for him. But boy, something's going on, and it's like I think all these guys, the rest of the guys, and particularly Joey Machosik and Nick Bing, I got to be scratching their helmets going, okay, all we can hope for at this point is another break. I don't know.
Yeah, Joey Machosik, a lot of this season has found himself at the mandatory caution leading these races, but that just shows how competitive this super stock truck class is.
So we got the Toyota Escondido pace truck out on the track, courtesy of Vision Wheel and Cooper Tires, with Joey. I was gonna say Joey Machosik. With Richie Kuloff behind the wheel.
Remember those 4 white flags in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. They have an opportunity. The leader, Michael Funk, has an opportunity to take off at the beginning of those flags or right at the end. So pay attention to that. It is huge on the restart. If you're in second, you don't want to lose much ground, but at the same time, as a driver, Scott, me and my brother would be like, don't lay back, you're going to lose that spot, but sometimes it'd be an advantage.
And all the drivers at the drivers meeting this morning were given the stern talk to about brake checking coming into that zone, and that all that does is create that chain reaction of bumper banging, and that's what they're trying to prevent. But it's if the danger of the driver that is leading, if he waits until that very last flag invisible line and waits to take off thin, the guys behind them start anticipating that, and they start accelerating, and that creates that chain reaction as well. But that's nobody's fault but the drivers.
Yep,
the guy leading has ultimate control.
Looks like Ben Holder's button right up on the back.
And I'm telling you right now, Funk held him till probably a car length before the second flag before he accelerated.
Man, a big hole developing back there. Man, it looks like Nick Bing is just flying.
Yeah, he's gotten around Joey Machosik. Machosik being our points leader right now. But, yeah, Nick Bing, you would never know he's a race car driver.
No. So calm, he doesn't say much. Oh, Machosik gets hard into the side of Nick Bing.
That might have been a little bit on the rough side. That was left front fender into the door, and that was very close, if not a no-no.
I said early on into this race weekend, you were going to have to move the guy in front of you over. Not necessarily take him out, but square him up. Hit him door to door, or just bump his wheels and get that move.
Door to door is fine, but left front fender into a door is not, because that was nothing more than helping Machosik complete his turn. I saw a little bit of puff of smoke out of Nick Bing just past that the mini Larocco's Leap.
Man, Nick Bing using those front fenders.
There's that smoke again we've been talking about. Coming out of Nick Bing.
Machosik.
And
Machosik tried the inside and stalled the truck. The truck just comes to a stop as here comes Nick Bing trying to go outside, inside on Platten, and does. Watch back for the crossover. Trying to get that run, see if he can dive underneath, and he's trying. Oh, man, I don't know. It looked like he lost momentum crossing over those big ruts. Yeah, good look at Joey Machosik in the 851. Something happened to Joey, multi-time winner.
That's our points leader, and that is going to be devastating to the points chase.
Yeah, Redbud hasn't been good for him this weekend.
And Nick Bing's gotten around Kenny Platten. Nick Bing, second in points. Currently on that final podium spot, but meanwhile up front, it's all Mike Funk, all but checked out.
If you're Mike Funk running in the front right now, you're thinking, are those gremlins going to catch me from yesterday, or is the truck going to stay together? You don't want to go too fast and you don't want to go too slow. Looks like Bing and Platt still trying to have a battle. Bing starting to pull a couple car lengths. But Chosik having a hard time getting that truck to rotate, but he's back underway.
Yeah, he's a lap down, though, so we're going to see if he's going to allow these guys to race or if he's going to try to get in the middle of mixing it up.
Yeah, respectively, you should just pull off and let the leaders go by you, but you're here to race at the same time, but we'd like to see them pull off to the side and let Platten and them by.
White flag coming out this time around. Faye Stetsny's got it up in hand, waving in the air. One more time around for Mike Funk.
Man, I don't know how Visser keeps limping that truck around. There's literally no suspension on that right rear. Funk just dancing through the whoop section coming down that hill. Actually a little double as Bing clears it. Funk right there yesterday broke down and pulled off the track. Looks like he gets through that turn clean.
That's just a badass sounding motor too in that thing.
Remember, fans, if you want some body panels, it looks like Nick Bing will have plenty of them after today's race. Funk has just been in a league of his own today, running away and hiding from Ben Holger as Nick Bing is all over Ben Holger. One more turn to go. Can Nick Bing get Ben Holger coming down the hill? Who will outbreak who?
Ben Holzer. He tried that inside-outside move, nothing happened, and Nick Bing will take second. Ben Holzer third.
And look at that, Nick Bing, the last lap, a 1:19.983 fast lap that time around for Nick Bing, and you could see it on the track.
And this track absolutely got beat up on this last second half of this race, and the lap times were still going down.
Yeah, these fingers in the turns are turning into big potholes underneath. They're trying to straddle it and get around it, but here at Redbud, it's a MX style track and it's great.
We got our top three finishers making their way up to the podium. We'll be right back after this with a few words from our sponsors.
When it comes to guarding your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Trailblade tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
Cooper tires on the ground go round and round, round and round, round and round. Tires on the car are warranty. The one you need. The tires on the car help keep you safe. They grip the road when you hit the brakes.
Your tires matter. So count on Cooper, an American company since 1914.
Tires on the ground go round and round.
Well, as we're checking out the fans here, we're looking at the Jumbotron. They're down there by the podium. Let me guess. Is that some Nick Bing fans? Huh? He's such a quiet guy, kind of very mild-mannered. And then you throw the helmet on him, it's like a big Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, he sure put his head down today, and he ran towards the front.
Race fans, let's now meet our top 3 finishers in Super Stock in that 3rd spot. One heck of a run here this afternoon. And you know what? The true sign of a driver is when that truck looks just as good at the end of a race as it did at the beginning. And that's exactly what this guy did. In the 844, Ben Holcher!
Congratulations to you. That smile says a lot. I'm so excited to see you back up here. With the track conditions like we've been talking about, it's changing all the ways, always, and we're 2nd day here. What do you think is the biggest improvement that you've seen out on the track from yesterday?
I just slowed down a little bit.
Slowing down does help, and you seem very methodical. You're planning out your passing. Does that change your mindset since you had, those laps yesterday, you practice and everything, going into round 10 today?
Well, yesterday I got taken out of the race by a hard landing and hurt my back pretty bad, and I had to pull off. But slowing down a little bit really helped me today. So,
who would you like to thank for bringing you on that 3rd place box?
Well, first and foremost, my wife for allowing me to do this, and Holcher Motorsports, the whole Marquardt team, the whole Superstock class. Everybody's so awesome and helpful, great friends. Holcher Brothers, Nick Holcher Construction, Bernard's Cheese. Yeah.
Well, you've done it. Seems like you're a little bit out of breath. You've done a nice job here. Hop up on number 3.
And in that second spot, you know, we talked about him all race long. Brent and I both agree that he's very calm, cool, collected, almost kind of boring off the track. But on the track, a big damn Tasmanian Devil. Finishing second, the 8:33 of Nick Bing.
Congratulations to you, Nick. I know you probably have a few choice words for Scott. That face was so funny. Scott, he is not boring off the track. He's laughing over here. But you are a Superman today. You had the fastest speed out there. You were at a 1:19.98. I mean, that's got to be incredible. A little dirty over here, but you brought it again. You did a 1-2. How are you feeling?
Yeah, really good. But it was a battle out there today. I know me and Joey are locked tight for points, and I wasn't giving him an inch, and I know he wouldn't give me an inch. So that rubbing's a little bit of racing. We got a little rough in spots, but it was a real fun of a race, and just kept at it. And luckily, I got Ben on the last corner. He said he was having truck problems, but otherwise I probably wouldn't have caught him either. But just a very fun race.
It seems like the Maxxis tires were doing a great job for you out here in Red Bud. Who else do you want to thank?
Yeah, Maxxis tires helps out tremendously. They're an awesome tire. I recommend to anybody. But there's many other sponsors and teams that I'd like to thank. Lucas Oil is one big one. JR Enterprises, Holter Brother Incorporated, ARO Coatings. There's many more. Green Bay Rebuilders. There's Andy Shock Service for helping me out getting the land pretty good. So just all kinds of people and family, friends. Jess, Mom, Dad, Allison, Brent. The boys back home that didn't make it here, thanks to them, Clinton, Jordan, Alex, thanks.
And also that fresh new haircut that made you super fast. Love that. Hop up on number 2.
And taking that top spot, Mike, it's been coming a long time. It's about time to see in that top spot. The 807 of Mike Funk.
Congratulations to you, Mike. We just had a little chat back there when you're coming out of the truck. You know, nothing really happened yesterday except it took you out, of course. You regrouped, you came back, you thought about things. Did you go in with the same game plan, or did you change up the game plan knowing that the track was going to be different today?
Just kind of keep the same game plan, just smooth and hit your lines and watch the track progress and adjust to it. So, yep, it worked out great.
Well, it seems like, you know, for Maxxis it's a 1-2, but of course you got to thank some more people.
Oh, yeah, I definitely want to thank Maxxis. My first full weekend on them. Everything worked great. Thank the Matosik clan. They brought me a drive shaft that got me through the day. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got here. So, and then all my sponsors, TNT, D&D Millwork, Reimers Painting. Yeah, all the other ones.
It's okay. It seems like every time everybody gets up here, they're so excited. You know, hop up on number 1. Well-deserved. One more round of applause for these guys right up here. And back up to you, Scott and Brent.
Congratulations, guys. That was, we often say that this race, this class is one of the best races all weekend long, and you guys proved that point once again. Nice job. We're going to step aside real quick with another word with our sponsor. We'll be right back with our something kind of cool.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
Well, race fans, I just got a text message from one of our racers back there in the pits. He's running in the Pro 2 ranks this afternoon and runs the number 13 Cooper Tire Pro 2. Jay Schaefer is going to have his truck on display in front of the Cooper Tire stage back in the pit area. And everybody's invited to come back there and get a picture taken sitting inside a Pro 2. So the kids, adults, it doesn't matter. It's going to be on display until it's staging time for the Pro 2 race. So you come on back into the pit area, right by the Cooper Tire stage. It's straight to the back when you walk to the gate. And get an autograph signed by Jay Schaefer and a picture taken inside of his Pro 2. And by the way, we're about to do something real cool. We got a couple of pieces of CAT equipment on the track just yet. We've got Ricky Johnson. Yes, that Ricky Johnson. Sitting inside the Pro 2 two-seater down at the starting line. He has got a very, very, very special guest that he's going to be giving a ride around this track. And if you were here earlier this morning, you heard me talking about we're going to have a huge U.S. Air Force presence here this weekend and today, not only with the Thunderbird F-16 on display back in the pits and all their activation, but also we have a 2-star general and a couple members of his staff here. And I believe the general's wife is here as well. But Ricky Johnson's got a 2-star Air Force general sitting in the passenger seat of that Pro 2. So as soon as we get done taking care of the track a little bit, we're going to turn loose and show the general what it's like to really fly.
What's up, Carter? How's it going?
It's going good.
Are you glad to be back up in the booth today?
Yeah, it's...
This is your 3rd time already. Actually 4th, right?
Yeah.
You getting the hang of
I
it?
have a lot of fun doing this, and it's something fun to do after I'm not racing them anymore.
I know. I was
really
just talking to
fun get
Grandpa.
involved with it.
I was just talking to Grandpa. We were talking about you getting back in a car and that, and seems to be Dad's the problem. You can't get back into one. What's up with that?
I don't know. We were done with the lower horsepowered carts. We were seeing it about a mod cart, but they're not ready for this year. So maybe come back soon, or light buggy once I'm able to.
You just got to keep on riding them and tell them, hey, this is what I want to do. But you also do motocross, right?
Yeah, I've been doing some motocross stuff recently.
And you can tell that it's the same kind of difference, or it's the same thing like in off-roads. It's pretty much, I always call it 4 wheels. It's like a motocross on 4 wheels, off-road racing, because of the jumps and how the track changes.
Except with a cage, too,
right?
Yeah.
With age comes a cage, but you're still young, so.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun doing everything that I get to do. It's quite a bit of fun. I'm hoping to get back into a car soon out here, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, you're always around it, so you might as well just keep on working your dad and Grandpa. Well, Grandpa seems like he's there behind you, so you could also just sit up in the booth with us the rest of the year. How would you like that?
Okay.
All right, it looks like the short course kids' carts are coming out, and Carter, here's the lineup. Start off with the first place guy.
Starting on the pole, we've got the 97 of Aiden Wandasaga. Starting next to him, his dad just won the Super Stock race. We've got the 7 of Michael Funk. Starting in the second row, the 44 of John Holcher. Next to him is the 20 of Braden Beauchamp. Had a pretty hard rollover yesterday. Had to come to Sean's pit, to Sean Morris's pit, to get some stuff straightened out, but he's back today. Starting behind him is the 90 of Kennedy Marquardt next to the 5 of Paige Rahanowitz. Then there's the 31 of Zachary Rahanowitz next to the 13 of Easton Sleeper. Starting in the next row back, the 45 of Owen Van Epperen and the 190 of Sam Marquardt. And then we've got the 79 of Hope Conrad rounding out our field.
12 trucks going to make this start right behind Richie Kuloff. They're coming to the green flag this time by. Aiden Wanasega will lead them to the green.
And it looks like they're already going.
They're all trying to get a run up that hill.
And we're green as Aiden Wanasega will take the whole shot, but John Holcher already looking to the inside. They're crazy wide as they head into the first turn. Looks like Wanasega will get the whole shot with Funk trying to pass on the outside, and now Holcher looking to the inside of Wanasega. As they head down this hill, pretty good speeds for these carts heading down this hill. Wanasega hangs on to the lead. As the sand turn was a problem for him yesterday, but it looks Owen Van Eperen looking for third as well. And Van Eperen and Funk side by side.
4 wide.
And here comes Holcher right behind Wanasega, coming in front of the tower. And everybody's still pretty well gathered up right around each other. And it looks like Sleeper's gotten by the 45 of Van Eperen. That's yesterday's winner. Sleeper has been very fast recently. That was 3 in a row for him, I believe.
What a good run for Aiden Wanasega out front his rookie season.
It's actually his second year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thanks. See, that's why we have you up here.
And it looks like Sleeper has gotten around Funk as well. Sleeper moving up very quickly. Started back in that 8th spot, all the way up to 3rd already. They're coming down the hill. Sleeper goes way wide. So does Funk. But now Sleeper might be getting a run under Holcher. Sleeper going for the lead. Easton Sleeper in 1 lap goes from 8th to 1st very quickly.
Yeah, yesterday's winner, Easton Sleeper, opening up a little bit of a gap already on Aiden Wanasega.
Now Holcher looks under Wanasega as well as Van Eperen. Holcher's got Wanasega, but does Van Eperen, as Easton Sleeper has simply been very fast this season, and he's doing what he's been doing best, getting the lead early and pulling out a lead. Looks like Wanasega got back around Van Eperen there. Van Eperen probably going to try again, right? Oh, Braden Beauchamp had a problem yesterday. I can't see what the problem is there, but he looks like his day is done. And it looks like good battle through here, and it looks like Sam Marquardt and Paige Verhanowitz side by side. Easton Sleeper has the lead pretty good, with Holcher behind him and Wanasega and Van Eperen right behind.
Now, Carter, how hard is it on these cars climbing these hills, these different elevations?
It's pretty hard on the belts, especially. But yeah, besides that, it just slows them down a bit. But the belts, you can wear a belt out very quickly by going up and down these hills.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, they're carrying speeds faster than we see at any other track.
Yes, this is a very cool place. This is the kind of place that makes me miss it. Looks like Braden Beauchamp back underway as well. And Van Eperen's gotten around Wanasega, and now Paige Verhanowitz getting around Funk. Funk might have a problem as he's dropping many positions. Now Van Eperen going to try to run down Holcher. And Sleeper has got a huge lead. Easton Sleeper well out in front of the rest of the pack here. As now the 45 of Van Eperen tries to chase down the 44 of Holcher. Gonna try the inside-outside move.
And you can see they all go so hard into that turn and then exiting,
Yeah.
they just kind of crawl out of there.
They basically use the sand to help them stop.
And there's only rear brakes, right?
Yeah, only brakes on the rear. And it looks like Wonasaga might be catching back up to Van Eperen here. As we've got a battle in between brother and sister for that 6th spot, I want to say, in between Zach and Paige. Zach looks like he'll get it. Now Kennedy coming up into that 5th spot. Sleeper with a ginormous lead. They must have found something with that kart because he is going very fast coming to our competition yellow. Looks like Van Eperen gonna try to get Holcher on the way up the hill here. I don't think he has enough time, and we're Hanowitz moving up that hill very quickly. And it looks like Wonasaga might have just edged him out there. That was very close. Easton Sleeper has just put on a simply dominating performance so far.
So let the fans know, Carter, what are you thinking inside the kart? I know you've had an opportunity to lead these things and win in this class. What are you thinking coming back to the restart?
Well, depends where I'm at on the track. If I'm leading, I'm thinking I just want to run my same smooth lines and just ride it out to the end. If I'm a little farther back, like 2nd through 4th or something, I'm gonna watch what my opponents did and see what I can improve on that. And we've got 2 karts trying to catch back up to the field. Hope Conrad and Braden Bocha. Braden had a little problem and pulled off the track, got back on the lead lap. But we're gonna have to see if those two can catch back up to the field.
Yeah, he's a ways back right now. It's gonna be pretty tough before they go green.
The 79 of Hope Conrad might catch up, but it'll be tough for Braden Bocha to come up, especially since they're going about half speed on their caution lap.
Yeah, Carter, how old are you and how long before you get your real driver's license?
About 4 years.
4 years. You ready? You could
Yeah.
probably do it now.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not legal.
So don't make it happen.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to be coming back to the green flag here. And Easton Sleeper on the gas way before the flags even. Let's see if Van Eperen and Holcher have anything for Sleeper in the second half here. Staying with him so far, but that's not the case we saw last half as they come down the hill here. Sleeper already pulling out a lead. Oh, Sleeper goes wide. That might open something up, but so does Holcher. Now Van Eperen gonna try to go to the inside of Holcher this corner. Not enough, though. Sleeper already got a decent-sized lead as they come in front of us here. As our current points leader, Marquardt, still very far back in the field. Never know how that could shake things up. Looks like Van Eperen side by side with Holcher here, and Van Eperen and Holcher side by side, as well as Hanowitz and Wonasaga going into this corner. Holcher gonna have the inside, and now Wonasaga goes to the inside of Van Eperen. Now Wonasaga may take over that 3rd spot, as he does. Now Zachary Hanowitz gonna challenge Owen Van Eperen. Meanwhile, Easton Sleeper still already way out front. As we've got it looks like 3 wide in between Van Eperen, Werhanowitz, and Wondasaga. Werhanowitz should have the inside advantage here. Oh! Oh, and a big pile up. And looks like Wondasaga will lose, I believe, 5 spots. 5-6 spots lost by Wondasaga there. And now Van Eperen all up on Holcher. As now Sam Marquardt, current points leader, was very quiet in the first half especially, is now suddenly up into our 4th spot. Marquardt now gonna go for Owen Van Eperen. There's John Holcher, and they're all tight together. Marquardt. Now Van Eperen going after Holcher once more. And now Werhanowitz gonna go after Marquardt. As Easton Sleeper is way out in front. And now Van Eperen on the outside of Holcher once more. Van Eperen looks to have the advantage this time. Van Eperen finally makes the move on Holcher that he's been trying to make all race. And now it looks like Marquardt gonna try a move on Holcher. As Easton Sleeper is just checked out as he takes the white flag. Oh, Holcher battling back on Van Eperen. And Werhanowitz will take over that 3rd spot as they take the white flag. Easton Sleeper already coming down the downhill. And now Van Eperen might be challenged by Marquardt and Werhanowitz here as the rest of the pack comes down the downhill. Marquardt takes over that 4th spot, that 3rd spot. Werhanowitz in the 4th spot.
Man, what a battle. What a battle we have amongst the 2nd through 10th. Looks like one of the Werhanowitz kids have gotten spun around. Looks like Zachary.
Oh, Zach was running very strong as well, and he'll now lose multiple positions. As now Easton Sleeper is just gone. Easton Sleeper has been very fast this weekend and at Bark River. And just a purely dominating performance as Easton Sleeper has one more uphill to negotiate. And Easton Sleeper will take the win for the 4th time in a row. And now Marquardt looks to have gotten around Van Eperen. Marquardt might be taking that 2nd spot over Van Eperen. And does so. And now it's Werhanowitz and Holcher uphill. That's too close to call. Followed by Wondasaga, Kennedy Marquardt, Zach Werhanowitz, Michael Funk. And yet to finish are Hope Conrad and Braden Boshaw. That was a very good race for 2nd on back, but Easton Sleeper just dominated.
Yeah, he definitely put on a performance this weekend here at Redbud.
We'll be right back to TORC the Off-Road Championship for the post-race interviews.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Additives, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver, and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Additives are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
Well, race fans, what you're seeing right now on the Jumbotron, and for all the fans back at home, you see a couple of TORC personnel, media people around the Pro 2 two-seater with Ricky Johnson behind the wheel. And it's always cool with Ricky Johnson out there giving rides, but more importantly, it's who's in the passenger seat. And we talked about earlier having a huge Air Force presence here this weekend. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for one very, very important person on that racetrack. Ricky Johnson is giving a ride to two-star General Gary Herensack of the U.S. Air Force. I told Ricky, and I gave him a little wink, make a two-star General scream like a girl. And Ricky just winked at me back, and I ain't going to tell you what the General said. So will the day come that we see you behind the wheel of something like that?
Hopefully.
Yeah?
Yeah, I hope to be in a Pro 2 someday. Ricky Johnson does not seem to be holding back at all. He seems to be going even harder than he did yesterday.
Yeah, he was never in the military. He wasn't a Marine or wasn't in the Navy or nothing like that. So I think the opportunity to make a two-star General kind of cry like a girl a little bit, he's taking advantage of that moment.
Oh, this downhill will sure excite him.
Yeah, he's going a little quicker than he did yesterday with the media, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool, this Pro 2 two-seater. It's really cool to get to see. Yeah, it's really cool to get to see people ride around in this, and even just the contests that anyone can win it.
Yeah, exactly. Just the opportunity that TORC can provide, whether it be contests, VIPs, media people, dignitaries in the area, or two-star generals. And he's never seen anything like this. I just had a chance to talk to him just a little bit. He's never been to anything like this, never seen anything like it. And he lives in someplace, he's from Texas, originally from New Jersey. But he's on the road, I think what he told me, 301 days a year he's gone. And this obviously being one of them. But he's got his wife Tanya here with him and a couple members of his staff. But I can't wait to see what his face looks like when he takes that helmet off. And he's going to be coming up here to talk to us when he's done.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ricky's over there.
He's
Whoa, man.
on it.
Yeah, he is seesawing back and forth on that steering wheel right now. He's giving it.
Oh, yeah.
I think this may be the hardest I've seen Ricky drive, giving anybody a ride. And here's the thing about Ricky, though. He works with a lot of the military, teaching motorcycle safety and how to ride a motorcycle and driving and that kind of stuff. He works with Special Forces, the Army Green Berets and the Navy SEALs and such. So he's got experience dealing with the military personnel. But I believe this is the first time he's ever had a chance to put a two-star general of any branch in a race truck. So, he's having a blast.
He's taking advantage of it, I can tell.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's got no holding back at all right now. He is just sending it.
And I want to tell the fans also, this is just a taste of what you're going to be seeing later on this afternoon when the full-size two-wheel drive Pro 2s do hit the track for their points race. So we got this size truck in both 2 and Pro 4.
It's like
four-wheel
this.
drive.
It's like this, but 10 of them.
Yeah, exactly. So don't go anywhere, as we got a lot of action yet to come. We've got Super Buggy coming up next, And then we go into the pro classes, which will be really, really cool. What a great way to end the weekend. And you know what? We're going to get the general up here in the sound booth in a moment and get up close and personal words of what he thinks of off-road as compared to, say, an F-16.
Yeah, that sure flew.
Yep. Also want to remind everybody that we do have a Pro 2 on display back in the pit area at the Cooper Tire trailer. You can't miss it when you walk through the archway. You got Jay Schaefer, the number 13 Pro 2, on display. And it's going to be there till staging for their race. And you can go back there, actually crawl inside that truck, get pictures taken. Jay will sign some autographs. But, yeah, you want a picture taken inside of a Pro 2. Now's the time to do it before staging for Pro 2. There's a lot of things going on. That's right next to actually where Yamaha's situated, where they got, I believe, 6 or 7 Yamaha YXZs that you can go up there and sign the form. They give you a helmet, and you get to drive a YXZ 1000 around this facility, and I highly recommend getting the paddle shift that's up there on that steering wheel. Get one of those models and having a little bit of fun with that. And don't forget, we've also got Tom Pollard here from the World Motorsports Breast Cancer Foundation supporting the battle against breast cancer. Stop up and see them. And we also don't forget to get some of those cool design. Have you seen this at those T-shirts that they made, that Tim and Timmy made for this weekend? The Battle at Redbud T-shirts?
Yeah.
They are really, really neat. And Tim's just phenomenal coming up with crazy designs like that. So stop up and see
They've got one for every event this year.
Even your size, man.
Yeah, they've got every size.
Well, race fans, let's now meet our top 3 finishers in the Midwest Kart Division, and this is where I'm going to turn over to you one more time, Carter. Introduce our top 3, brother. Well, how about this? Finishing at 3rd spot.
Finishing 3rd, we've got the number 45 of Owen Van Eperen.
Congratulations to you, Owen. This is pretty much a points race chase for you right now. We have 3 more rounds leading into it. What do you think about is going to happen, and what is your mindset?
Well, hopefully I can get it, and Sam's running good, so I'm going to have to push it. We had the points lead early in the season, and now we're losing.
It's okay. Everything's going to turn around. Oh, my gosh, you can make me cry over here. Everything is going to turn around. You're a great driver. I know you got that speed, but those 2 guys are on your tail, too. Congratulations. I know you want to thank a few people.
Yeah, thank you. Yamaha, Yamalu, Power Sports 1, Holzer Brothers, Never Lift, Victory Sign, everyone else, thanks.
You done a great job. Hop up on number 3.
Finishing 2nd, started all the way back in the 10th spot, was pretty quiet for most of the race, but at the end came charging up to take that 2nd spot, finishing 2nd, the 190 of Sam Marquardt.
Congratulations to you, Sam. We had a chance to talk when you were getting out of your truck. The track conditions are a lot better than yesterday. What do you think is going to be the most difficult part for the rest of the drivers?
The turn down here in the sand.
The sand. It seems like all the trucks, all the buggies have been getting stuck in there. Do you know why that's happening?
It's harder to turn the tires.
That's probably why. Well, I know you've got a lot of people to thank while you're up here. Who would you like to thank?
Halter Brothers, Corey's Crank and Ale, Heck Electric, Dylan, Kurt, my mom, my dad, my sister, Todd's Custom Paint. I have more, but I don't remember them.
Well, you've done a great job. Hop up on number 2 right over there.
Taking the 1st spot, started in the 8th spot, worked his way up very fast and just took the lead and ran away with it. Has our fastest lap time by like 3 whole seconds, finishing 1st, the 13 of Easton Sleeper.
Congratulations to you, Easton. 4 for 4. You've done it here. It seems like you are the fastest guy out on the track right now. How are you feeling right now, getting this great streak, and we have 3 more rounds to go?
Oh, I feel so good right now. I just wanted to send it out there, and
you've sent it, and it seems like you're making short course karts great again instead of Pro 2. Is Pro 2 where you want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like Luke Johnson, number 14, is your hero. I always see that. Who do you want to thank today?
I gotta thank Luke Johnson just making me send it every day. I gotta thank my mom and dad. I gotta thank Lacey. She's back home with my cousin Maddie. She probably won't be happy because Mason is here and she's not. I gotta thank High Road Motorsports, Never Lift, Race 1, Nelson's County Market, Lincoln County Cycles, Excel, August Collectibles, Auto Gear, Rylander GM, and all my other sponsors.
Well, you've done a great job. 4 for 4. Hop right up there. One more round of applause for Easton Sleeper and the rest of these short course karts. Back up to you guys in the booth. Carter.
Thanks a lot, Tiffany, and once again, congratulations not only to my buddy up here, Carter Vandernoel, but those 3 down there at the podium. And the smiles don't get any bigger than that big kid right there in the middle, ear to ear. Nice job, Easton Sleeper, and the other 2 drivers up there as well. Don't go anywhere just yet. That's you, man. Look at you. That's you right there. You're on camera. You know what?
Wow.
Thanks so much for being up here, man. And you know what? I haven't got a message from your dad yet about watching you on the internet. So, you know what? You did a hell of a job. I'm getting messages from my wife.
That's probably because he said he's going to be on the boat today. So
Oh, okay.
He's probably not watching right now.
Oh, well, you know what? You can always go to YouTube to watch it again. But
Yeah,
I get
I
a
told
message
him
from my
that
wife
last
saying you did a heck of a job. So that says a lot coming from her. But congratulations. Thank you for coming up here, Carter. It's good seeing you
thanks
again,
for
man.
having me.
We're going to see you at Crandon, right?
I hope.
All right. The fans are going to see you here next weekend, right?
Maybe.
Okay, for the Outdoor Vet Nationals?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Well, thanks for coming up here, man. Thanks a lot. You
thanks
did a
for
heck of a
having
job. All right. Well, you know what? Here's the situation now we're going to face when we talk about the racetrack all the time. All the different elevation changes, the ruts, the jumps, and things along that line. Well, you know what? No one did it better than Cam Reimers earlier this week as he did a ride-along describing what this track here at Redbud is all about.
All right, here we go. We're starting off at the whole shot start straight. Everyone that's familiar with Crandon knows that we run in a turn 1 land rush style. This is going to be even more moto-esque since we're here at Redbud Motocross Facility. It's going to funnel down really quick, not going to be a fast straightaway and not going to be a fast turn 1, but we head into this single right off the bat. And you're going to be flicking the truck in, and if you're a fan, this is going to be where you want to stop by at the end of the race. I predict quite a bit of fiberglass in this turn from all the contact. Coming out of turn 1, this is going to be interesting off this little drop off here, how you set up for this Talladega turn 2. I think you can be able to dive in on the inside, make a pass in the turn. If you're going to run the outside, I think you may lose a little bit of time in the turn, but you're going to get an insane drive up this hill on this second little straightaway. A couple big jumps that I think you can kind of fly as far as you want. Maybe the Pro 4s might have enough speed they might have to check up, but pretty good sized double out of this turn heading up the start straight. Plenty wide enough if you get one of those runs out of Talladega turn 2, you'll be able to head up this uphill and hopefully make the pass before you get into turn 3. This jump, very Larocco's Leap-esque. Redbud's famous for some pretty gnarly jumps on their track. And this is going to be pretty awesome watching the trucks launch this. So negotiating a little bit of mud here. We got some rain last night. It'll make the track rut up pretty good today. Everyone's familiar with Redbud and how phenomenal the dirt is and how well it ruts up and makes it interesting at the end of races to negotiate the track. You're going to come out of turn 3, and this is going to be a lot like on the motocross track, going by the mechanics area. There is a flyaway right here that I'm sure doesn't look that gnarly on camera, but it is big. It's big, it's blind. You're going to want to time it right, and then you're going to charge down this hill into turn 4. Big dirt wall on the outside, kind of like the same as turn 2. If you run the outside, you're going to get an awesome drive up the hill and into our finish line. So I'd suspect to see some block passes, maybe some guys that try to protect and get driven around the outside. Here coming to the checkered flag on the last lap. Little stutter bump out of the turn right about here. And then, yeah, coming up through the TORC arch. Just a beautiful facility. I've been coming here for a long time with my ATV motocross days. You know, definitely over 10 years here. The Ritchie family just does an awesome job. This was the place that I got my first podium in an off-road truck when we were over on the motocross park. The new track here is just phenomenal. You know, always a beautiful place to come, awesome layout. The Ritchie family definitely knows what they're doing, and excited to be back here. Here, this will be interesting in practice today. This turn, little stutter bump on the inside. Come out of here, it's gonna get really ruddy today. We had quite a bit of rain last night. Two little humps again, definitely trying to keep your truck straight and charge down this little downhill, off cambered, left side high, right side high, and you're gonna charge down this hill through this S-curve. This is a spot, I don't see it as being a huge passing point, but a place that you can definitely run up on guys. Fun little double, I think, here. You're gonna be flicking the truck, just getting over this small little double. And then this is a big face of this jump. There's not much on the backside beside a sand pit. So guys will be in the brakes with all the speed that they've got. Truck will be sideways. It'll almost look like a motorcycle scrub. So it'll be pretty cool. You don't want to land right about here down in this G out. I think in a Pro Light, you know, you're going to be hurting. In a Pro 4, you're risking braking stuff as well. Final turn is a grass turn. This will be interesting all weekend, and that puts you right back on the start straight where we took our whole shot, and that's a lap at Redbud.
Well, race fans, we got to thank, if you notice that Cam Reimers was not in a race truck, he was actually in a street truck, and we want to thank Toyota Escondido for helping us out this year with that brand new 2017 Toyota vehicle, as we have been using it as our pace vehicle all season long. So again, thank you to Toyota Escondido so very much for providing that. And, oh man, we're being overrun right now. How do we want to do this? We want to do the interview right now with the general, or wait till after the next race? Well, let's go to Tiffany Stone, who's got a very special guest at the podium. Tiffany?
Thank you so much, Scott. So everybody knows that communication is key in every aspect of life, and I have the main guy that is making all that communication here at TORC. I am here with Lance. He is the general manager from Rugged Radios. You've seen it everywhere, and we've been talking about this. Communication is key, and with Rugged Radios, not only can the driver talk to the spotter, but the spotter can talk to the driver, and how imperative is that, and especially with a race like this?
You know, Tiffany, one of the biggest things that I even tell the race teams is that the spotter's priority is to be the rearview mirror for the driver. And what they do is they tell them what's coming up, what's coming around, and it keeps the drivers, you know, in the game, and it keeps them safe as well to let them know, you know, when not to punch out of something.
So you do have a radio here, and this is pretty much what the spotters do use, correct? So can you give me a little explanation of what every piece on here is?
This is just a basic spotter kit right here. It's got a two-way communication radio that will communicate with the driver, and then the driver communicates back to the spotter, and the spotter listens and knocks out all the outside noise using these headphones. He uses his push-to-talk button on the side to transmit to the driver, and then the driver uses a push-to-talk on the steering wheel and transmits back to the spotter. Generally, the driver's not doing too much talking. He's doing more listening.
That's amazing. I know Scott Wren, he has actually talked to some of the drivers via Rugged Radios during some of the pro races that we have, and it's quite amazing. But if you weren't a driver, you weren't a racer, and you still wanted to use these to go off-road, to go with your family, communicate with them, is that still possible?
Yeah, that's one of our specialties. We have kits for all the UTVs, motorcycles, and quads out there that keep the families in communication. From base camp, you know, someone cooking up some food, they can radio out and say, hey, food's ready, come on in for the barbecue. And all the crew comes in nice and safe.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you guys have any questions, go over to Rugged Radios. It does keep everybody communicating. It does keep everybody safe and always family friendly. Back up to you guys.
Okay.
Guts, that type of stuff.
Gotcha. Thanks a lot, Tiffany. Now, I get the pleasure. I got to be honest with you. I've talked to a lot of military people before, but never a two-star general. And it looks like we're going to start racing in a second. So as we get ready for the next race, I've got two-star General Gary Herensack up here. Ladies and gentlemen, how about it for the U.S. Air Force? How about this? I got to ask you real quick first after the next race. What was the ride like?
It was awesome. It was fantastic. I've flown a lot of high-performance airplanes, and I got to tell you, the air that we were getting here and the skill that Ricky had driving around, it was an awesome experience, and it was a hell of a lot of fun.
Question is, would you do it again?
Let's go. Bring it around. Bring it around.
No, you guys got a great presence back in the pit area with the F-16 on display and all the activation. What is it about coming to Redbud with all that kind of material and that jet that made you want to come here?
Well, it's it's our sponsorship that we've had a long 19 years with Steve Shearing Speed Sports in snowcross, and then when he said he was going to be part of this incredible organization, we said, well, we're going to come with you on it because these are our people. This is what we would like to inspire people to join the Air Force.
Can you kind of hang out during the pro race?
Absolutely.
Come on back up here for the pro races.
I'll be ready. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Two-star General Gary Herensack. He'll be back with us again in just about an hour and a half or so. Thank you so much. Well, our next race has just started. We kind of trying to put about 5 pounds of crap in a 2-pound bag here between races. So with super buggies at the race, the Formula One of off-road, open wheel, high horsepower, high suspension. Here's our lineup. We got Herman Barm in the 22, Steve Freeman in the 18, Mike Hessler in the 9, Scott and Ryan Schwabe in the 29 and 2, Mark Steinhardt, Michael Meister, Joe Eppers in the 99, Chris Hainland, Brian Bosia, and Chris Coughlin in the 13. And with the early hole shot, we got Steve Freeman.
Looks like Creeman with a very large lead right now.
Yeah, Steve Creeman got a great jump off the line. Upwards of what, probably 8-9 cars?
We've got quite a few super buggies here as our, it looks like our points leader may have a flat tire. Our points leader, Meister, looks like he has a front flat tire right now.
Yeah, Scott Schwabe, looks like he's actually reeling in our leader. And
that's Ryan.
Ryan Schwabe, I'm sorry.
Ryan Schwabe reeling in Steve Creeman. Creeman way wide. Ryan Schwabe gonna come down to the inside and takes the lead just like that.
That's neat to see. Scott Schwabe running so strong early in this race. And just roosting the heck out of Steve Creeman. We're trying to get a vantage point right now on Meister. Yeah, you're right. The right front tire on Michael Meister is flat. So that's not going to help me with all the left-hand turns, which is predominant in this track.
It's going to hurt him, but he doesn't look to be going too bad. Do these cars have interliners as well?
No, they don't run interliners, but they do have that steering brake, which locks up the back tires that helps them rotate going into the corners. Just like some of the fans like a tractor. When you hit that pedal, it kind of stops that rear tire and helps you make that corner real sharp. That's what these guys have, but they have that on a lever.
It looks like Creeman in a Schwabe sandwich right now. As we've got Ryan Schwabe in the lead, Creeman second, and Scott Schwabe in the third spot. Steve Creeman running that older style car and doing pretty good with it. As they come down the hill, here Ryan Schwabe still with our lead, with Creeman and Scott Schwabe right behind, and here comes Steiny. Mark Steinhardt in the fourth spot.
Yeah, Ryan, our leader, is looking real good right now, but you can't count out, like you said, Mark Steinhardt. And ever since he moved up into this class from the single buggy, he's been very, very strong. He started running the top 3 almost right away.
Yes, last year was Steinhardt's first year. Meister, I believe, brought him on board and let him race one of his buggies, and now he's got one of his own. As now it looks like Schwabe gonna go to the inside of Creeman, and this track very slick as they've just watered. Very slick in some spots. Creeman still holding his own as Ryan Schwabe begins to pull a lead. Oh, and looks like a missed shift from Schwabe. For a second there, it looked like he was slowing. But Meister's still running strong with that one flat tire.
Yeah, that's if you're gonna have a flat tire, the front one of the front ones would be the best one to have, but the thing
Especially
is,
in a super buggy because you
Yeah.
steer with your rear.
yeah, almost like a sprint car.
Yeah. Oh, and now Creeman being passed.
Oh man, he's trying to pull off the
Ryan
track.
Schwabe off the track.
That was
We've
Ryan,
got
yeah.
a brand new leader. Mark Steinhardt takes our lead.
Steiny and Scott Schwabe, both out of Rhineland, Wisconsin. When Steiny was running that single buggy and Scott was in a super buggy, they were teammates and worked very, very close together, and they know each other's driving style. And right now, they are side by side that racetrack. And there's Meister right in the mix of things with that right front flat tire. And I think that was that Schwabe.
That might actually be helping him a little bit with these slick conditions.
So it looks like one of the drivers and the competition yellow comes out. So this will calm things down a little bit. And Meister really came on that last lap as he pulled in that third position, but Mark Steinhardt,
That flat tire not giving him any problems, it looks like.
not so far, no.
Ryan Schwabe running so strong.
And there's Ryan right there. There's Ryan in our picture right now as he pulled off the track, 2 laps ago, right here behind us in that
This
sand
past
section.
lap,
Yeah.
actually, he was running so strong. And that looks like Chris Coughlin in the 13. That's actually Scott Schwabe's old buggy, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, tough break for him as well. Ryan Schwabe was running in that first spot, and you saw Scott Schwabe try to pass him on the outside as Ryan went off the track.
He was trying to get off the track in a safe manner, get away from everybody so he doesn't get in their way, but problem is,
Scott
that's
tried
exactly
to pass
what
him
happened.
on the outside, yeah. And that's what opened the door for Steinhardt to take our lead. As those top 2 buggies are brand new buggies for them.
Mm-hmm.
I believe those are brand new buggies just for this season.
Not only does Michael Meister have a right front flat tire, but there's either
Looks like he may
steam
be
or smoke coming out of the back of
overheating
that
or
car.
something like that.
So there might be more problems going on with Michael Meister than what we know besides that right front flat tire. We'll keep an eye on him. As Steiny is running up front, Scott Schwabe second, Meister with multiple problems
Still
running that third
running
spot.
in that third spot.
Yeah.
Still running fast.
You can't count out Steve Creeman though, as he was the early hole shot leader. Finds himself in that 4th spot right now, and he's pretty quick as well. But he doesn't run the whole series, so I think he's only done
this
Chicago.
Year he has.
Was he in?
Yeah,
was he
he's
in,
been running the full series this year. He usually only
Crandon?
does Chicago though, but yeah, it's good to
Coming
see
out
him
of
running
Arlington.
a full season this year.
coming out of Arlington Heights, Illinois. So yeah, he runs a limited schedule. So according to you, he's running the whole season. Nice
This
job
year,
for-
this year he has been, but usually he runs a more limited schedule. As we've got some other guys on this track that are making one of only a few appearances a year as well, like the 32 of Brian Basha and the 72 of Chris Hanlon. Both ran Bark River. They usually run Bark River every year, and now they're running Redbud this year as well. So we're coming back to green. Looks like, Steiny doesn't wait at all. He jumps it. He gets a good jump right at the first flag. It looks like they caught Creeman sleeping a little bit on the start too. And now Meister gonna go after Schwabe even with all his issues.
Yeah, if he's gonna make any kind of passes, it's got to be very early in the second half while everyone is still bunched up. And this next turn, coming to that left-hander, this is where it's gonna be real hard for him. He's got to really rely on both the transmission and that steering brake to make that rotation.
He's trying to make a pass. in that turn, but he over-rotates a little. He must have been on that turning brake for a little too long. As now it looks like Mike Hester has gotten around the 32 of Brian Basha to take that 5th spot, and now Steiny just opening up a lead. And now looks like Meister might try to dive to the inside of the 29 of Schwabe. And right there in that corner, especially at the exit, it looks really slick.
Yeah, you can see the shine on the surface of the dirt. So that's either very blue grooves or still wet. But yeah, when you go tight in the inside like that, you gotta use that steering brake or downshift. That scrubs off so much speed, but you gotta slow down to make that inside turn. So he's still trying to do that slide job, but it just wasn't close enough to pull it off.
Looks like the 94 of Meister now trying to go after Schwabe, even with his flat tire among other issues. And it looks like Meister goes under Schwabe. Makes a move under Schwabe, but Schwabe will get it back. As these two battling allows Steinhardt to pull out an even larger lead.
You can see that Michael Meister is actually setting up Schwabe. He's setting him up right now for a pass about a half a lap from now. He's picked his corners on where he thinks he can get around.
It's really crazy because in this there's a lot of strategy involved. Some of the times you can set up a guy for a pass that you're going to try to make 2 laps later.
And that's what he's trying to do right now. He stuck his nose in there. Let him know that.
But it looks like he scrubbed a little too much speed, and now all that setting up might be not worth it. It was probably going to be that corner he was going to go for in there. As he catches him a little bit. No white flag yet.
You kind of have to fade back a little bit so you get a run on him. You just can't like accelerate past. You have to get a run at him and kind of almost slingshot, kind of not really draft, but like a slingshot move through the turns.
And these two battling is just allowing Steinhardt to open up an even larger lead.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Left-hand turn, scrubs off quite a bit. And it's a drag race out of the sand pit. And again, Scott Schwabe pulls away a little bit. All that Michael Meister can hope for is be close enough. I think we're going to see the pass right here in front of us.
I think Meister's best chance is probably in the sandpit corner, even with his tire. It doesn't actually look to be flat anymore. That one does.
Yeah.
I was looking at the wrong side there. But yeah, it looks like a. But even with that,
here we
he's
go.
Gonna try for a dive bomb.
He pitches it hard and it over rotates. He went into the corner.
Too hard. And white flag is out for Steinhardt. As that was good. That was a bomb. That was just bombing it into the corner, hoping for the best. What he was probably going to do is he was probably going to use Schwabe as a berm there and just over-rotates a little bit. That slick surface might have been a factor there as well. As Steinhardt, very fast. Oh, Kreeman pulling off there. Kreeman's day is done. But Steinhardt is very fast today. Just very smooth, gets the whole shot. Well, doesn't get the whole shot, gets the lead pretty quickly, and just runs away, similar to what we saw Easton Sleeper do in the kart race. As now Scott Schwabe.
Mike Hester might have a shot at Mike Meister in this last half a lap. He's trying hard right now to get onto that podium.
Steinhardt is basically checked out at this point. One more turn to negotiate. Here with Schwabe behind him. Just nice and easy, and he'll head on up the hill. And Mark Steinhardt takes the win. Scott Schwabe will get that 2nd spot.
This is going to shake up the points a little bit because Steinhardt is actually 2nd in points right now with Meister.
It looks like
leading.
Meister will hang on to a 3rd though. 4th, Mike Hester. 5th, Brian Basha. Gonna wait for 6th to come around here. We'll be right back to TORC the Off-Road Championship for the podium interviews.
AMSOIL offers the next level performance enthusiasts demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond protection it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Turo Trailblade Tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
Cooper tires on the ground, go round and round, round and round, round and round. Tires on the car are warranty. The tires on the car help keep you safe. They grip the road when you hit the brakes.
Your tires matter. So count on Cooper, an American company since 1914.
Tires on the ground, go round and round.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Mattitives, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Mattitives are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
Well, race fans, don't forget AMSOIL. They protect your equipment with long, live synthetic oils and fluids from AMSOIL. AMSOIL carries a complete line of motor oils for cars, trucks, and all your power sports toys. Visit AMSOIL in the pits. And don't forget about Cooper Tire, an official tire sponsor of the TORC Series with athletes in Pro Light and Pro 2 competing in the Cooper Discoverer STT Pro. For more information, follow Team Cooper Tire on social media or to locate a dealer near you, visit coopertire.com. And don't forget about Maxxis Tires. They are trusted by TORC champions because their products take drivers to the podium year after year. Be sure to visit the new Maxxis.com and visit the Maxxis support truck to learn more about Maxxis Tire products, including the ultra high performance passenger, trailer, light truck, and SUV tires. That's Maxxis Tire. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just a moment away from visiting with our Super Buggy winners down at the podium. But in the meantime, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break between the Sportsman and the Pro drivers as we do a ton of track prep getting ready for the Pro classes. Now's that great time to go back into the pits to meet these guys before they go onto the track.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. That's what we say about TORC. The pits are open. We can walk in, get an autograph, get body panels from the previous day or today. So check it out and check out all our vendors out there.
So once again, it sounds like now we're ready down at the podium with our finishers of the Super Buggy division. Let's go down trackside as we speak. Finishing third, it sounds like he jumped out of his car and went right to the medics to get checked out. We're not sure exactly what the situation is. Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like there was a little bit of action going on back in the, well, I guess we'll call it competition control. It sounds like there was an issue with Michael Meister as he crossed the line in third, but they had problems with something that took place on the track, so he was penalized. Actually finishing third now will be the number 9, all the way from Florida. How about Michael Hester?
Congratulations to you, Michael. We were just chatting, and you went up, you came back down. I asked you how the race was. You were like, it was great until I flipped over. You bit your tongue, but you made it on the box. How are you feeling right now in Redbud?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I tell you, we've had a tough season all year long. We've had just problems after problems. We had an engine bug. We ended up, a good friend of mine and crew, Terry Sloan, took the car, drove it to California last week. We drove back from Anaheim to Redbud this week, got here Thursday night. So I got to say a special thanks to Mike Porter, Jennifer, and especially Chan at Redline Performance. We got to thank the guys at CarTech. Got to thank sign producers, and especially my crew, Terry Sloan, Jeff Golding, and Dwayne Booth that's up here this weekend.
Well, you've done a great job. I can see the tongue's giving you a little bit of trouble over there, but you walked away. You're great. Hop up on number 3.
All right, thanks.
And taking that second spot, it's kind of cool to see these two guys running 1 and 2 again. I know they've been teammates for a long, long time. But you know what? No one knows each other's driving style better than the other. Taking that second spot this afternoon, that 29 from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Scott Schwabe.
congratulations. You've done it here. You podium both days. Track's drying out. It's getting a little bit better. Are these the type of conditions you want for your super buggy?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of, as you can tell, I'm kind of an old school guy. And so I'm used to a lot of natural tracks from years back. And I kind of enjoy tracks like this. Redbud did a great job. Track is just really competitive. It's a lot of fun to drive on. But I would like to say, we were just having a little talk off camera here, and we were trying to figure, there's a bunch of old guys up here. And, you know, I think I'm the youngest guy out of the three. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Mark and I have been racing together, traveling together for a long time, so it's just been a lot of fun.
Well, it's got to be great. I know you've got a lot of sponsors you want to thank, and bringing you back, it's kind of like a full circle, you know, coming back to this type of terrain for you.
Oh, yeah. The first one we've got to thank this weekend is All-Star. They've got some added money, added purse for us, and we just really, really appreciate that. They don't know how much that means. And I'd like to thank Rod End Supply and Amsoil, and again, my crew. We were up all night getting my son's car ready. And he had the lead. I was running second, and when he pulled off the track, I just about hit him. So that's when Mark passed me. So it was kind of an interesting race.
And Mark just said, thanks, Ryan. Yeah. Well, congratulations to you. Hop up on number 2.
Thank
you. And taking the win this afternoon, our current points leader. Actually, he's still second in points. We're going to check things out and make sure where we're at. But this guy right here, I've seen him take his former single buggy and jump higher and further than a lot of super buggies and just keep on going competitively with those cars. But now he's in a super buggy, and now he's a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, taking the top spot, the number 31, Mark Steinhardt.
Congratulations to you, Mark. It seems like you've always got this thing going. It's brewing in your mind. You're always thinking about the next thing. Taking the comp yellow, you were first. You've got those 2 white cones out there. I know it's a decision of what you do first based on the track. Do you hit that first one, you wait, you hit that second one? I know you don't want to give all your secrets away, but does it change from track to track, lap to lap, day to day?
Well, it does. The track conditions vary, and where you want to take off on the restart makes a difference. Unfortunately, this year I haven't been leading a lot at the halfway point, so this was the first one I did. So I didn't know if I went a little earlier or not, but I think I got right to the white one and went. So no, it changes with track conditions. Crandon, you might want to wait a little longer, more speed and stuff. So no, it worked out good though. I got a really good restart. A little bit of carnage at the beginning of the race. I was able to drive through that and had a really good run.
I know you got to thank a lot of people. You're here with these 2 guys. It's got to feel great to bring it all together. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I got to, congratulate these guys. Scott can say that he's youngest, but I know I am. So, but yeah, at 53 years old, I'm the youngest one up here on the Super Buggy podium. So it was a great race. I got to thank Lane Automotive, like Scott said, the added purse that they put in. All-Star Lane Automotive, that's awesome. Rod End Supply for doing the end of the year points fund for us. That goes a long ways too. It means a lot. I got to thank All Mode, Wash Smart, Laundry Lobby. Rhinelander Fastenal, everybody that helps. Got to thank my nephew Jacob for doing the radios. Congratulate him on his win today. So that's awesome. We can go home with 2 wins.
Well, congratulations both on that. Hop up on number 1. One more round of applause for your super buggy top finishers, and back up to you, Scott and Brent.
Thanks a lot, Tiffany. And Mark, if you're the youngest guy, why did you need help up onto the podium?
Way to go, Steiny.
Well, congratulations, you 3 guys. And you know what? Now it's time to clean up a little bit, maybe load up the cars, but enjoy the rest of the afternoon here at Redbud. Nice job. Well, race fans, we hope you had a great time checking us out here at TORCseries.com and on YouTube. No matter where you are across the globe, watch us, whether it's at home here in the States or someplace all across the globe. We've had a blast. On behalf of myself, Brent Smith, talk about how much fun this has been.
Oh, it's been great the whole weekend so far. This track just keeps changing. I keep on talking about it, but it's awesome. It don't give a guy the same lap after lap. And wait, we have pros coming up here shortly, and you're going to see some kind of showdown.
Yeah, we've got 5 pro classes coming up at 3:30. We're going to sign off right now. So again, on behalf of myself, Scott Rain, Brent Smith, and trackside Tiffany Stone, we've had a great time. Beautiful weather here at Redbud. We'll see you in about a half hour at TORCseries.com and on YouTube for the Pro Series.
Pro 2 has been a dream of mine for a very long time. I'm excited to join the class full-time in 2017.
Hopefully we can get the Pro 4 out and mix it up with the Greaves and whoever else wants to come do some battle.
We're going to be getting more track in the water truck, going for championship.
At the end of the day, you want to be the guy that when everybody shows up to the racetrack, I want everybody to say, this weekend I know I have to beat Kyle Hart. And to be able to get that name, you have to go and prove yourself and win races and be the fastest guy. And I'm not going to quit until I'm there.
The overall future for off-road, it looks really good. We finally have a stepping stone of young guys coming up. It's going to be one hell of a season.